of hockey on an exotic holiday. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from LA and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Prices start at just $23.99, and part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Call and save $200 when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. Cast Tours, 1-833-347-7678.
Jason Gregor Show.
This one is hit hard to deep left field. Will it stay fair? It will. And George Springer leads off the ball game with a home run.
On Sports 1440.
Runner goes. This is sent to right center. That is down for a hit. De La Cruz racing for third. Wayman's on. Here's the throw. Relay the play. His legs. He's safe again. De La Cruz from first for the second time tonight. It is 4-1 Reds.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Two champions. Champions. If Davis thought Santa Cruz was going to focus from his...
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, streaming on Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X. My name is Connor Halley. Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto 649 Gold Ball Jackpot worth $42 million. Go check it out, PlayAlberta.ca. Also, for making a deposit, put in code word Gregor50 to get a $50 free bet. Also, use your GameSense, GameSenseAB.ca. Connor Halley with you here today, sitting in for the vacationing Jason Gregor today, tomorrow, Friday, and all of next week as well. Then Jason does return. I got Wanye Gretz along with me here as well. We've got Declan Kruger, Josh Fenwick keeping us aboard on the streams. Big shout out to everyone watching right now on YouTube, Facebook, X. Make sure you give us a like. We'll jump into the chat there in a minute there and see how everyone is doing. Wanye, good afternoon. How are things?
Good afternoon, Connor. Things are well. How was your evening after the show?
No, it was uneventful. Went home, hung out with the boy. That was about it.
Yep.
Watched some terrible television. And
what were you into?
I don't even want to admit it.
Oh, come on now.
My wife enjoys 90 Day Fiancé.
Sure.
And I will say I did enjoy the earlier seasons of it. But then they just kind of recycled the same cast. But it's one of those. They have so many spinoffs these days. So I just watched a little bit of that.
You don't need to justify reality TV to me. I'm quite a big fan.
Then I watched another reality show, Quarterback, on Netflix.
What's that?
That's just where they follow Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Who else is it? Joe Burrow and Jared Goff through last season. I feel so bad for Joe Burrow watching that. Man, that guy's playing his you-know-what off. And every game they lose. And then they win a game and finds out his home was burgled while he was on the road in Texas. So yeah,
come on.
Reality television to its finest. What about you? Watch anything good last night?
I was watching prison documentaries on Netflix.
Oh,
foreign prison documentaries specifically.
Yeah. Like Locked Up Abroad or something.
Oh man. Sometimes I'm a big fan of these shows. If you can even say a fan of human misery, it's not the right word, but like they're interesting to watch because no matter what's going on, I'm like, well, Wanye, at least you're not in a prison in Bolivia. Remember that show you saw where they had to like keep themselves, like they're like living in hammocks above prisoners on the floor. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these documentaries.
They're different out there. And they jam-pack people in.
Jam-pack.
It's crazy.
Like 6 times the population they're supposed to have in a prison. They're supposed to have 3,000 people. They had 18,000 people living in this jail. And there's like restaurants and pool tables. Those crazy.
Is it a business?
Well, I don't know. Man.
Private jails and such?
I don't know, man. Some of these third world countries, it's all pretty dodgy.
Well,
Or at least you can thank your lucky stars you're not in one of those.
We'll have a distraction from the real world today on the Jason Gregor Show.
We need sports.
We need,
you know what I
Right.
mean? Like the mind wanders when there's no sports news, and I'm immediately in oblivion prison on TV. I need to come back. I need training camp news.
it's
I need
crazy
the
how quick it
Iceman
happens.
to do a press conference.
Well, that'll be here before we know it. I think.
I hope.
I mean, I guess, time is a flat circle or whatever they say. It's going to get here eventually.
It feels like fall. Am I crazy to say this outside weather-wise? Like
I haven't
in
been
the
outside
morning,
in
you haven't been
hours.
outside.
Not in hours.
Oh, I see. I just been over the last week. Have you felt
I
like
like
the
it, though.
early whispers of autumn air?
Yeah, but I was telling the Duke yesterday, we were on our mall walk, and I have great memories of my 20s and early 30s, being out at a bar or a house party.
Oh, yeah.
And you step outside early September and you just take that breath, and it's like fall's here. Football starting, hockey starting, NBA starting, playoffs in baseball, CFL ramping up. There's a time, but I'm not there yet.
You and the Duke do a mall walk?
Every day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Every day.
Get our
How many
steps in.
steps?
Not that many.
How many steps?
Not that many. I don't know. Because you're supposed to do 10,000.
Are you?
We're not getting close to
You're
10,000.
supposed to do 10,000?
I think that's kind of the number for health.
What are you putting
purposes.
on the board?
We usually finish, I'll finish the day with 6. And
Not
then
bad.
that's if we don't go for a walk with my wife and boy.
Of course.
But yeah, it's not the longest walk. But we get up there. We, chop it up with them all.
At least you're not in a Bolivian prison.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You should get that cross stitched on the wall.
At least you're not in a Bolivian prison.
Yeah. Because it's misery. I watched a whole documentary about it last night.
Text line if you want to get in on the show today, the Ewell inbox, 1-833-401-1440. You can score with your power play partners at Ewell. Get all your electrical needs, ewell.ca, 24/7 ordering and shipping in Edmonton and across Alberta. We got lots to get to on the program today. A wide berth. We're going to be joined by Tyler Yaremchuk of Oilers Nation. Of course, we know what he did the last little while. Swung the golf club over 1,000 times.
Wasn't it 4,000 times?
We'll get the exact number.
I'm pretty sure he hit 4,000 balls at a 152-yard flag on a par 3. I think he lipped out twice. We'll get the exact details.
Yeah.
But this guy put A+ effort into this bit.
We'll talk to him about that. Some Jays as they fell to the Pirates today 2-1. Tommy Pham, both RBIs. Are you kidding me? Come on. We should have been plunking him in the head. Just kidding. We don't endorse violence on this show. We'll also be joined by Kevin Carius. You know him on the morning show here on Sports 1440. He went down to Elks practice today, so we'll see what he saw there. We'll be joined by DJ Bieniemy, covers the Houston Texans for ESPN. Great season for the Texans last year. Pencil in for that Saturday morning wild card game, and we'll see. CJ Stroud into year 3. The defense looking pretty good. We'll see what he thinks about the team down in Houston. Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. We'll get to the oil report. Mark Spector will join us, and we'll also talk more NFL. Terry Sawalker's going to join us from the Associated Press. She covers the Tennessee Titans. Cam Moore, number 1 overall pick, joining the team in the offseason. He got into it with probably the team's toughest defensive player. Maybe not the smartest thing, but I got to think maybe you earn the respect of your teammates when you do something like that. So a bloated show. Keep the text rolling in 1-833-401-1440. And also 5 questions with Declan Kruger, which I know is always a popular segment when we get to that. The Mount Rushmore. Always fun. Cam texting, and Yaremchuk did say it was just under 2,200 swings.
2,200 swings.
On the Carius show yesterday. So
Unbelievable.
that's a lot. I wonder, you need a massage. You need maybe a hot tub after that just to relax the muscles. But his fingers were so messed up, you have to keep your hands out of the water probably.
Oh, dude, the damage he did to his hands. I can't wait to talk to him about it.
We'll figure it all out. Also today, we'll, of course, take your text, whatever you want to take a look at. Some news. Jake Paul, social media star, a guy who's very polarizing because many people hate what he does to boxing. Some people just respect his grind. You also have to think that maybe he's putting some new eyes on the sport with all the things that he does.
Young eyes.
I say that's what people say. Those are just the things that go on in my mind.
Totally.
He's going to take on Gervonta Tank Davis, November 14th in Atlanta.
Who is that?
Well, and that's why I want to bring in our boxing specialist, college football specialist, combat sports specialist, just a good guy in general, Declan Kruger, who knows more about the sport than I do. And Declan, what I think we've talked about your thoughts on on Mr. Jake Paul. But this opponent, Gervonta Davis,
Mm.
is this a guy who might actually knock him out? Because that's, I think, what a lot of people, if you're paying attention, want to see.
Well, this is the thing. Like Gervonta Tank Davis is, he's an incredible fighter with a huge knockout ratio. And he does it in pretty devastating fashion to most people he's fought. Now, his last fight out, he actually had a draw with Lamont Roche, a fight that he probably should have won. He's a guy who carries incredible power, very good technical boxer, a much better technical boxer than people give him credit for, or at least initially gave him credit for in his career. But for anyone who doesn't know, he's a lightweight. And the lightweight division in boxing is 135 pounds.
It's crazy.
So Jake Paul is listed at, 6'4", 200. Gervonta Tank Davis is 5'7", 135. Now, the walk-around weights are going to be a little different. Tank's probably walking around a little closer to 155, maybe even 160 if he gets heavy. But Jake, similarly, is going to be walking around at 210, 215. And weight classes exist in boxing for a reason. Like, Gervonta Davis is a better boxer than Jake Paul. He is much more credentialed than Jake Paul. He could knock out, someone of that size for sure if he was to bare knuckle them, or even with like 8-ounce gloves. But we don't know what size gloves they're going to be wearing. And for anyone who doesn't know, the bigger the gloves are, generally the tougher it is to knock out your opponent. We don't know, we just don't know all the intricacies of what the exhibition match are going to hold. So I don't know. It's a really silly one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, weight classes exist for a reason. And as much as one might not want to like Jake Paul and what he does and the way he carries himself and brands himself, like, you got to go ahead and say this guy is putting in the work. Like, he is getting in the ring. He is staying in the gym. A lot of people criticizing Jake Paul. They couldn't beat Jake Paul in a boxing fight. Like so it's a tough one for me to kind of look at right now, because Gervonta Davis, far better boxer, knocks out, all the lightweights, all the super featherweights he fights, could probably fight up to, 140 and find a lot of success. I think he's a little too undersized for 147. But Jake Paul is 6'4", 200, and you're 5'7", 135.
Yeah. Reach becomes a factor as well.
Yeah, like Gervonta is so much quicker than him. He's not going to have any problem getting inside. But it's just like when you're used to being hit by 200-pound guys. And listen, it's different again for someone who's a regular person versus someone who's actually getting in the ring. I don't know what the gloves. Glove size is a huge one. I'm really curious to know if they're wearing like 14-ounce, 16-ounce sparring gloves. If they're wearing, if they're going to let Tank wear his 8-ounce glove. I don't know what it's going to be. It's an interesting one. It's a weird one. I don't have many thoughts on it outside of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so torn on it. Like, he grinds my gears. He kind of is like annoying, but he's built up a pretty big thing, so I respect the grind. I also heard he donated like $500,000 to Ben Askren for his double lung transplant, Declan. I don't know if that's true or not, but
it was what I heard as well.
That was the report. Like, pretty kind, generous thing to do. And I try to look at things as optimistically as possible, but if he's doing these events and people are watching, now his last fight, I had no idea was happening, but if people are watching the sport and kids aged, I don't know, 7 to 15 are like, I think I'd like to take up boxing, then maybe long-term there are some benefits of this. And maybe it brings back some of the glory from the early 90s, would you say, Declan, the 2000s? Like, I know you're into it, but it's decreased, I would say, in North America, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely goes in cycles for sure, right? And you look at, the 70s was an incredible era of heavyweights. And obviously, in the 90s, some of the lighter weight classes got prominent with guys like Oscar De La Hoya, and, Tito Trinidad. Then Floyd and Manny had their run as kind of the money guys, Canelo Alvarez now. So, yeah, it goes in waves. What I would say is, if you're a 7 to 15-year-old kid who wants to get into boxing, don't do it. Dumb sport. Don't do it. Do something else. Take up chess.
Great training, though.
Oh, everyone. Yeah, listen, I've said, because obviously, I was a boxer for a number of years. Everyone should do boxing training. It teaches you discipline like nothing you'll ever know. Like that's why sometimes when I slack off, it's because I know I've reached the pinnacle of what discipline needs to be. And I really honestly believe that. That said, don't fight. No one should actually box. Do the training. Don't do the boxing.
I feel like Declan's lived 5 lives simultaneously. When were you a boxer?
So I started after high school, and I did it for like 7 years after that.
And were you fighting amateur bouts? Like, to what?
Yep.
Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I got 2 provincial silver medals sitting at home.
No shoot.
Yeah, man.
Almost 4 on the air.
I'll bring him in.
I knocked
No
him out,
kidding.
but he doesn't remember.
You knocked him out?
Connor
he doesn't
knocked me out.
remember.
Second time we met.
Is that true?
No, of course not.
Yeah, I told him I didn't like the Chargers, and that was all it took.
Well, that's his thing.
I lack discipline, and I'm not a fighter. So boxing's the wrong sport for
You
me.
never know. Catch a guy with a lucky punch. Declan, you're an interesting man.
I'd be like Butterbean. Was that his name? Or Butterball?
Butterbean, yeah.
Butterbean?
Yeah, but that guy was a killer.
He was
Oh.
cool. He did kind
was
of a lot of
cool.
the gimmicky fights. His Larry Holmes' last fight was actually against Butterbean. Funny enough.
I don't think that the Paul brothers are doing anything that the WWE hasn't already done. When the days of like Iron Mike Tyson and Riddick Bowe and those guys, it was obviously before social media. So you only really heard these guys in interviews or press conferences.
Mhm.
The Paul brothers have done an amazing job of integrating their own media
Yeah.
with commercial ventures, with fighting on the side. Like they're doing 5 careers simultaneously.
And-
And I think whether or not you like them playing the heel in the moment, I think we don't even really know who they are. I think they're always playing a role.
And then, you see when they do these cards, other boxers getting an opportunity with eyes on
Totally.
them, which I don't think you can just discount.
Didn't Mike Tyson make like $40 million or some crazy number to fight him? Like, do you think Mike
Sounds like a
Tyson's sitting there in
disaster.
retirement being like, those guys are the what?
Tyson?
Of course not. That's my Tyson.
Oh, we watched that. My wife and I sat down and watched that. We're not boxing
So
people.
how can it be bad what these guys are doing if non-boxing fans are sitting down to watch the show?
Hey, it's helping. Also, that Netflix presentation though was not good. They
Didn't
were
see
not
it.
ready for it.
Did not see it.
Too many. It was so choppy.
A Netflix fight card?
That's where it was
I see.
Friday night on Netflix, and it was just
Sure.
like, okay, millions of people are watching this at one time.
Because they're so terrible at what they do.
Platform couldn't handle it.
They're so amateur hour, the Paul brothers, that Netflix crashed watching their fight. They must be doing something right.
So many people. I was frustrating. We were like bringing it on our phones. We had it on the TV. We're like, I just want to see this happen because I'm holding my breath, and Mike Tyson might just see red and clock him. It never happened.
You think that was rigged?
Absolutely, I do.
Bro, he's 60.
I still think it was rigged.
But isn't there like moments in the fight where Tyson has it like wide open to just send him to the moon and he didn't even throw a punch?
Well, you got to think about like how bad most 60-year-olds' reaction time is in general. And then you got to think about a 60-year-old who's a heavyweight boxer who's been boxing since he was 12 years old and has had a lifetime of getting hit in the head. Like your timing goes so much faster than you expect. Your fast twitch muscle fiber goes so much faster than you expect. Like things that you can see that you used to be able to land, you just don't have. Like the body just doesn't catch up to the mind anymore when you get that age and when you've done it for a lifetime.
But I think we watch sports for hope, and it's the hope that'll get you. But we wanted to see him land that punch like that. I can't speak for everyone, but that's why I watched it. I'm like, I just want to see Mike Tyson somehow turn back the clock, land one punch on Paul, and drop him. Like you said, like I wasn't going into that fight thinking this is going to be a masterpiece. This is going to be cinema. That was not the mindset going into it. I was strictly what if, and it never happened. It was just kind of a boring. We saw Tyson's butt.
But
Yeah. The camera went to him like backstage.
really,
Yeah, that was like the
I don't pay attention to any of this. When the Oilers season is on, I'm all about my business.
Yeah.
All I want to know is everything Oilers, and the rest of it is just filler on SportsCenter till Oilers highlights come on.
background noise. I know you like business. On this day in 1991, Dan Marino signed the biggest contract in NFL history, 5 years. How much do you think it was worth?
11 million.
25 million.
5 years, 25 million in what year?
1991.
And if you factor in inflation,
Yeah.
that's
you have
probably
to,
like 15 million, 20 million.
which still not that much compared to today's quarterback.
Have you ever seen the like comparisons of salary in the NHL since like 1996, 06, 16,
No.
2026? There's barely any inflation. Like Paul Correa was making $10 million a year playing for the Anaheim Ducks in like 1994.
Yeah.
And $10 million, what is that, 30 years later,
Mm-hmm.
is still puts you in the top what percentage of the NHL for salary? Top 25% probably?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Higher than that, probably.
Like how much would a Dan Marino be making in the NFL now annually? 50 million?
Well, north of 50. I mean, that's kind of the minimum for good quarterbacks right now. Like you just get paid so much. And then it's also, you don't even have to say necessarily good. because sometimes like a guy like Daniel Jones you'll draft him early. He'll have like a few good seasons where you're like, we kind of have to pay him. And then even if he's not that good, right now, quarterback's making more than $50 million. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Purdy, Goff, Tua Tagovailoa, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Allen Burrow, Prescott makes $60 million a year.
Dude, not to cut in, but Tyson Bagent just got a 2-year, $10 million deal. Can be up to $16 million, and he is very bad.
And a backup.
Yes.
I guess you have a rookie quarterback on the rookie deal, which maybe helps it. But like, really, if you told me, does Tua deserve $53 million? Trevor Lawrence, $55 million? Probably not. Jordan Love, $55, probably a little high. It's crazy. But hey, Dan Marino walks so they could run. The NFL is just a beast right now. So kind of a drop in the bucket for most of these owners. But yeah, Dak Prescott, $60 million a year. So whoever's up
How
next,
good is Dak? Realistically, top 10 quarterbacks. Where is he on that list?
10 to 15, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
He's making that much bank.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good deal for him. Good deal for him. We'll take a break here. Lots to get to on this show today. As we've mentioned, we're going to talk some NFL. Teresa Walker will be by. Look at the Tennessee Titans. We've got Speck, Cam Tate, DJ Bieniemy. Carey is going to swing by. He was down at Elks practice today, so we'll talk about that as the Elks look to make it 3 straight when they're in Ottawa on Friday. But coming up next, we'll talk to Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff. It is the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, streaming on Oilers Nation's Facebook, YouTube, and X channels. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Want some good news? St. Albert Dodge is holding the biggest sale of the year on their in-stock Ram 1500 Sports. Every single one on the lot is discounted by a whopping $14,000. Yeah, 14 grand. And St. Albert Dodge has the best selection in Alberta. Over 90 Ram 1500 Sports to choose from with great packages, including the Night Edition and GT models, all $14,000 off the ticket price. Get down there and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
Another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999. It's the Bricks mattress sale of your dreams. Score dreamy deals like up to 40% off mattresses and queen beds starting at just $269. Get select king mattresses for the price of a queen and select queen mattresses for the price of a twin. Plus, queen platform bases start at just $299. Score 20% off metal bed frames when you buy any mattress. And get free local delivery when you buy any mattress on your Flexity card. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
There's something we need to talk about. Debt. It's an uncomfortable topic, but the truth is, most of us carry some form of debt, and we are ashamed to talk about it. My name is Parveen Middleton, a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. Every day, people struggling with debt come to me for a solution. When you make that call, I'll listen to your story without judgment and will lead you to a debt-free future. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to learn more.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids aged 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all your residential needs. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Sports Radio is back. The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight it is Lotto 649 Gold Ball Jackpot worth $42 million. Also, if you're making a deposit, maybe you want to get in on some baseball tonight or NFL preseason, the CFL, Elks, Red Blacks on Friday. When you deposit, use code word Gregor50 for a free $50 bet. Use your GameSense, ab.ca. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick with you here, keeping you on track here on the Jason Gregor Show. Gregor back in a couple weeks, taking a much-deserved vacation. Right now, we're going to get to Around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's. Cool down with $2 sundaes and snack-size shakes, or check out the McDonald's app for an exclusive $1 cone deal. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery. We bring in Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation. Oh, we might have lost Ty. We'll get to him in a second. When he's ready, we will be back on the show here. Wanye, you go to McDonald's, you're getting a cone or a sundae?
Ooh. Probably McFlurry.
Oh, McFlurry, what kind?
Oreo?
Well, good call.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
Thoughts?
the one.
Delete.
If they add a little fudge in there too.
Oh, boy.
Game changer. All right, we bring in Tyler Yaremchuk from Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff. Ty, how you doing today?
I'm doing better than I was yesterday, so not bad.
Good. Okay, so that's the question everyone wants us to ask you. How are the hands feeling?
They're better. Yesterday when I woke up, I counted, I had about 9 different blisters on my 2 hands. And today, most of them have gone to a point where I can hold things again. I can hold my steering wheel and stuff. So I'm better today. The shoulders are a little sore, but I'd say I'm back to 90%. So not bad.
Wanye here, Tyler. Tell me what different muscle sets were hurting. That was such an incredible feat of endurance. You were hitting a ball every 30 seconds for 12 straight hours. So first of all, congratulations to you for putting numbers like that on the board. What, I know my lats get sore when I play 36 holes. How are you feeling overall?
Yeah, honestly, the only the hands were obviously really bad, and then it's kind of the tops of my shoulders, whatever that would be. That is real. That's still bugging me a bit today, but my back's not bad. I think part of it was at the end I was so exhausted that I wasn't putting my whole body into the swings. It was basically just all arms. So the bad part, forearms, tops of the shoulders, those ones are bad. But again, all things considered, I woke up today and was very surprised that I felt as good as I did.
So what happens now? I mean, is the desire burning even more to get out there and try to make this an annual event, or is this one and done?
If you were to ask me right now, could I go out again in a month and do it? No, absolutely not. I was way too drained. If you were to ask me by next July, could I see myself being itching to try this again? Yeah, I want to do it. I want to complete the task. I'm a very competitive person, even though I'm being against anyone in particular in this. Like, I want to see it through. Seeing how many people enjoyed watching the stream and the content, seeing how many views it got, seeing how much money we raised for Sports Central. Like, I think next year I want to do it again. It's just probably giving myself some time to like mentally get over what I did.
Walk us through those numbers, Tyler. How much did you raise? How many people were watching?
So I think in total, when you add up all the streams from all the different platforms, just north of 30,000 people watched the stream, which is crazy. We haven't done the final tally on all the different spots we took donations from, but I think it's just north of $5,000, which again, this all kind of came together last minute. So I think if we did it again next year, we could double, triple, quadruple a lot of those numbers. So that was great. Again, it was 17 straight hours of hitting golf balls.
And weather by the time the night came, like by morning, it was beautiful again.
Yeah,
at night, it was really a situation.
Balls hit. Next year, I'd like to get it in the first 1,000, hopefully.
Wow. And you were so close early on, eh? Like lipped one out very early on.
Well, yeah, that's what's wild about this too, is like as the day went on, obviously the event and the stream and the donations picked up and kept going. But like if I would have just gotten it at the 37-minute mark when I lipped out for the first time, this just kind of ends. Like we raised probably at that point, I think like $1,800 leading up to the event. So we raised half as much money. I think there were only like 600-700 people watching at that point. Like every number is minuscule. Like me failing is what ultimately turned this into like as big of a stream as it got to. So again, next year, I would love to plan to make it bigger, but I would also love to just do it in the first few hours so I don't need to put my body through what I went through.
I came down to watch you from about noon to about 2:30. Then I came to help Connor with the Gregor Show. And I came back because I saw what was happening. I'm like, I want to be a part of this. This guy's like going for gold. What blew me away was you were hitting it better at like 8 o'clock at night than you were at 1 p.m. And you weren't hitting it bad by any stretch at 1 p.m. But like when I was watching you hit him at 8 o'clock at night, like 80% of the shots were going on the green within 20 feet. Like it was quite amazing.
I think part of it too, and we're going to talk about this more tomorrow on the Real Life podcast. So there's a plug. But I had slept so 2 nights prior was my flight home from Hawaii. So the only sleep I had was on my 5.5 hour-ish flight from Hawaii to Seattle. That's all I slept because we took a red eye. Then the next night we were at the course super late setting up. I had a couple other issues. I slept on and off from about 11 till 4. So the 2 nights prior, I had like 9 total hours of sleep, and like 4.5, 5 of them were on an airplane. So I barely ate. I barely drank. I know we kept laughing. Like I took 1 piss break in the 17-hour stream. Like
that's so crazy.
Kind of kicked into like a weird, like numb. I can't feel anything. I'm so sleep deprived. I haven't eaten all day. And I think that's what kind of allowed me to find like these little pockets. Like at around, yeah, you're right, 7:30, 8:30. I got into a bit of a pocket where like I just wasn't even thinking. I was just shooting, and they were going on the green, and I lipped out for the last time at like 7:35, 7:40. I think my body was in a really weird state because when it all came crashing down at like 10:30, like I crashed hard, like mentally and physically. I had nothing.
How did you, like, do you think you should take longer breaks next year, proper nutrition, or is that just part of the chaos of being Tyler Yaremchuk?
I think part of the chaos is what made this one really good. Because again, I was in a weird place. At one point I had my shirt off. Like it was just weird. I think next year, a couple things I'd do different. Train and like nutrition leading up to it is a must. Sleeping leading up to it is an absolute must. Like those put me behind the 8 ball. And one of the things that really screwed me over, I think, was getting that lip out 37 minutes in, because then I just thought, okay, I'm so close. Like, let's go pedal to the floor and I'm out of here by like hour number 4, hour number 5. Like, I'm going to get this thing if I lip out every 45 minutes. And that caused me to just go too hard too early. And then I was burnt out, and then my swing sucked for really the last 10 hours of the day. So I think next year it's a little bit of like not teeing up 10 balls at a time and then going. It's like, all right,
make a rack.
Tee up 2 or 3, look at it, make the shots, take a deep breath, take a drink of water, go hit 3 more, and like pace myself more.
Take a break, maybe like a sit down 20-minute, have a snack, relax, lie down on the ground type situation.
Yeah. Again, I burnt out too fast. So next year we will plan it again. I'll have a much different approach.
Well, I'm thinking next year, Tyler, you get companies, you challenge them. You know, if you hit it, they got to make that donation. And Hacksaw says sell balls, $5 each or whatever, $20. balls brought to you by certain people. So there's lots of fundraising opportunities. It sounds like you got the preparation part down. So again, congratulations, because what you did was awesome, and you had so many people entertained and raised a lot of money. Awesome event, and I think a lot of us hoping you'll go for it again next year. Tyler Yaremchuk joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz sitting in for Jason. Let's talk a little bit about the Oilers. It is around the NHL. We talked goaltending quite a bit here this offseason, Ty, and a lot of people want upgrades, and the question becomes who could it be and when would it be? If we go a full calendar year and next year the Oilers went the entire season with Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard, do you think that is going to be looked at as a failure by the organization?
I mean, it's so results dependent, but like part of when I first hear that question, I go, okay, well, I think the only reason we get to day one post trade deadline next year and it's the same goaltending tandem, I think the only way that happens is if Stuart Skinner takes a massive step forward, which I know people in this market are going to roll their eyes and point to the numbers and all that. He's 26 years old. Goalies are weird. They peak and develop at random different points in their careers. It's hard to project the position. We know all that. So could I see a world where Stuart Skinner just takes a step forward next year and we're sitting here going, hey, this is the best he's ever looked. He'd be incredibly experienced at that point. He's gone to 2 Stanley Cup finals. He's experienced failures at really the biggest stage, at the biggest points in seasons. Like there could be a point come February where everyone maybe not agrees, but I think you could see the logic of like, okay, Stuart Skinner looks different this year. New goalie coach. Everyone was clamoring for that. Maybe next season is just different for Stuart Skinner and you get to the deadline and you go, you know what? We have bigger needs than a backup goalie. We're just going to run it back again. Like I could see that happening. I think where there'd be like anger is if it's another average regular season for Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard is just Calvin Pickard and the team doesn't get an upgrade at the deadline and they lose in the playoffs because of the goaltending, then the anger will be there and it'll be totally justified at that point too. If like this team falls short because of goaltending again. So I think there's a path to Pickard and Skinner being the duo and it actually being the right move. I think there's a path, and this is maybe a sit on the fence answer, but like a path to them not being the answer, but the team's handcuffed and they don't make a move and they don't pay the price. And that's where I think the anger from the fan base will finally be justified.
And this question is probably going to be results driven. We'll have to see what happens. But just in theory, how much do you think the new goaltender coach Peter Aubry can impact Stuart Skinner?
I mean, like I've talked to Devin Dubnyk about this. I've talked to Carter Hutton about this, like guys who've played the position for years in the NHL, and they both kind of like shrug at that. Like they don't put a ton of stock in like, oh, your goalie. Like what Stuart Skinner does in the summer is ultimately going to be what changes in his game heading into this fall and this winter. Like he's not working with Peter Aubry every single day right now. I mean, there might be some communication, but like in the offseason, it's on the players to go do their own sort of development. And once you get to the season, the goalie coach is basically just doing like some minor tweaks. Maybe throughout the course of 4 months in the regular season, you're changing a few things here or there, but like it's minor tweaks. It's managing the workload of a season. I don't think we're going to get to a point where Skinner or have a situation where Skinner comes in and is garbage for the first month of the season, but then Peter Aubry sprinkles some magic fairy dust on him. And by January, he's unbelievable because he's changed these things in his games. Like minor fixes could definitely happen, but I think the Stuart Skinner we see coming into camp, whatever adjustments he feels like he needed to make, that'll be what determines the kind of season he has.
Tyler Yaremchuk, Oilers Nation and Daily Faceoff, joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show. So when we roll into camp, get into the preseason games, give me one player you're most excited to watch.
I mean, the two young guys are the obvious one in Howard and Savoy, but I think one player, and this isn't exactly like a unique or a hot take, but a lot of people have looked at Vasily Podkolzin and been like, okay, he was a positive surprise last season. And this year, as much as you can sit there and talk about, oh, what could Savoy or Howard do? Can they fit in the top 6? Are they going to crack the team out of camp? Could they get to 50 points? I look at a guy like Podkolzin, who we know plays well with Leon Draisaitl, who had like the two of them clearly enjoyed and complemented each other last year. Podkolzin just didn't have the scoring touch. Think about bringing in a skills coach this year, all of that. I can see a world where Vasily Podkolzin just kind of has the breakout year that a lot of players his age kind of have. He has a ton of professional experience, not just NHL, AHL. This is going back to Russia now. And he's only 24 years old. Like, this isn't a guy who's 28 and like Ty Ratty and everyone's sitting here crossing their fingers going, ooh, could he score 30 goals? Like, no. Vasily Podkolzin, if he turns into a 20-goal guy, like that's a revelation. That's a real big changing factor in the way you view this top 9. And he's 24. He's scored 14 goals before in the NHL. The idea that at 24, 25, he can take a step forward, We know he'll probably get a really good runway with Leon Draisaitl at some point next season, even if it's not out of the gates. I think Podkolzin's a guy who could really change things.
And just looking at the Toronto Blue Jays, dropping 2-3 to the Pirates today. Tommy Pham, both RBIs, which is tough. It was 2-1 after the first, and that was the final score. So not the most exciting baseball game, but some cool news that on Friday, Shane Bieber going to make his debut for the Birds as they take on Miami. What are your expectations for Shane Bieber here? Like, he hasn't played since April 2nd, 2024 at the Tommy John, but if he can be his old self, what an addition this would be for the Jays.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge him too hard on his first, we'll call it like 2 or 3 starts. Like, you got to get him through the rotation a few times. If start number 1 is the 22nd, start 2 is the 27th, start 3 is early September. If we get to like the 4th and 5th starts, which will come early mid-September, and he's like still struggling and he's not taking steps forward, then I think maybe there's a conversation here. But if the stuff looks good, I'm willing to dismiss the first few results that he gives the Jays, just because you know how difficult it is coming back from Tommy John. We can look at a whole slew of star level pitchers who needed more than just 2 or 3 starts to get back to that level. You're going to need to be patient with him. Is there a world where he comes in and is just lights out? Like, yes, he's that talented. He won a Cy Young in the shortened season. He can clearly get his stuff ramped up very, very quickly. And he has a couple of dominant starts now in AAA to look back on as well. The other thing with the Jays, as much as maybe people would say, oh, don't jinx it, don't like whatever, they have a 4.5 game cushion on the Yankees, 5.5 on the Red Sox. It's not like they're half a game up on these teams right now. And every win is important, but it's not like, oh, you're going to wake up tomorrow out of first place, or Bieber's going to give up 6 runs to the Marlins on Friday, and all of a sudden you might not make a wild card spot. Like, they've given themselves some grace period where you can lose 2-3 to the Pirates and not be sitting here shaking going, what a missed opportunity. Like, they've built themselves up enough positive runway. Go take 2 or 3 against Miami. If Shane Bieber has a bad start in one of them and it costs you a game, it's not the end of the world, because, again, getting him through these starts and getting him ramped up, there's a chance that this guy is your night 1 starter in the postseason in the ALDS if/when you get there. So you have to see what he's got. I like that they're putting him back in now. I like that they gave him 2 AAA starts, but the time is now to kind of figure things out and get him ramped up at the major league level.
Ty, before we let you go here, we haven't asked you since you were on the honeymoon, but how was the wedding?
Oh, it was great. I think everyone had a really good time. A lot of drinks were had. Nothing like really went wrong when you consider the grand scheme of a wedding. Like, I'm sure you know, Connor, there were kind of like 3-4 things that I was like, ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen that way. And like, this happened a little bit later than it should. But if you were to kind of like ask people who went to the wedding, it was like fine. So the things that I knew maybe went wrong weren't like crazy big things. So with that being said, it was awesome. And the honeymoon was great. The weather in Hawaii was awesome. The golf was great. I have 0 complaints here as I get back to talking hockey.
Amazing. Sounds like it's been a great summer for you. So, Ty, congratulations to you both, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Connor. See you, Wanye.
There you go. Tyler Yaremchuk. Our wedding, it was so funny because they always tell you that, like, something's going to go wrong, but nobody's going to know about it except for the people who planned it. We had a little bit of our, whatever, like little arc thing, whatever's behind you when you get married, wasn't covered in flowers. A foot span. That was like the one thing. And Ashley was like, I can't believe they messed that up. We just said, no one's going to notice. And I'm sure that was the same for the Yaremchuks and a bunch of people out there. Like, oh, one little thing's wrong. Nobody notices. I think for a wedding, it's pretty simple, Wanye. Good music.
Yeah.
Booze. Okay food.
Sure.
Food can't be bad. Doesn't have to be amazing, but it has to be like, all right, this is not bad. Other than that, everything's going to take care of itself.
Who's gone to a wedding and looked at the bride and groom on the altar and gone, look at that gap in the flower arch.
Yeah.
This thing's going to hell. If anyone's doing that, they shouldn't be at your wedding. Connor.
This wedding is cursed. Yeah.
People put a lot of pressure on themselves for weddings.
It's crazy. Crazy expensive. What an industry to be a part of.
It's a racket.
You know what blew me away? And it shouldn't have, but we had our photographers, and then it was like, you have to feed them. Why does that, like, why? Feed yourself. There's a break in between. Go to McDonald's. Get your own food. Why do I have to feed you?
Uh-oh.
Did something happen there? Or is that just Declan's natural
I think
reaction
Declan's
to me?
just wincing audibly on your take. I don't know. Feed them.
Well, I mean, like, it wasn't that big of a deal, but like, I don't come to my job and be like, oh, Gregor, you got to feed me.
You just finished saying that wedding food generally sucks.
No, I said it just has to be good.
So those wedding photographers probably do 20 weddings a year. So 20 mid-level beef bouillons a year. Like, it's no treat for them eating your wedding food necessarily.
So don't eat it then. We eat chicken.
It's a long shift. You said your food was good?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Let them have their meal, Connor. Jeez Louise. You're having the time of your life. You're getting married.
There was a little break in between. About, half an hour, 45 minutes. Go eat. What kind of job is this where we have to provide meals for you?
Did you know that if you're the president of the United States and you live in the White House, they bill you for your food?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Michelle Obama.
So the president does get billed, but these photographers don't?
She said, they'll make you anything you want. And when I first moved into the White House, I was like, oh, that's awesome. And they're always asking you, do you want anything? Do you want anything? And she's like, and then the bill arrives. Can you believe that the president has to pay? The president's family has to pay for food in the White House? That should be covered if they're listening.
Oh, then people would be so mad. Oh, look at Obama. All he eats is steak.
Oh, my
we
goodness.
Have to pay for this?
Your fingers on the nuclear arsenal button, and you're like, I don't know, get your own chicken.
Yeah, I'll just go to McDonald's. Best option there is. Let's take a break. When we come back, Kevin Carey is going to join us. We'll take a look at the Elks today as he was down at practice. It's also his birthday. So maybe you want to tweet him at Kevin Carey. Happy birthday, buddy. It is the Jason Gregor Show, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Are you an elite athlete or weekend warrior and you just want to enjoy playing the sport you love with less or even no pain? Have you tried every exercise and stretch imaginable, hoping the next one might do the trick? Well, you tried analog. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe healing can move along better and sometimes even faster with evidence-based technology techniques and the people who know how and when to apply it. StimPod, zero-gravity treadmills, radial shockwave, and so much more at your fingertips when you click to find us at leadingedgephysio.com.
How's your summer so far? Are you zipping around in your new truck from Wolf GMC Buick? If not, you should be. GMC employee pricing continues through August on our entire 2025 GMC Sierras, including the Sierra HD lineup. But just August. Who knows what September brings? Costco members save an additional $1,200 on our 2025 Buick lineup and all our new GMC Terrain. We're here for a good time, not forever. Buy the new reliable vehicle and treat yourself. Employee pricing, 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way.
Calgary rules.
But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Need the perfect ride? The Golf Cart people have it. They offer a wide selection of new and used models from top brands like Club Car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go. Whether it's a lifted cart for adventure or a sleek ride for the course, they'll find your match. Customize with accessories or choose a ready-to-go option. Trusted by Albertans since 1997 for quality. Visit golfcartpeople.com to find your cart and hit the road or fairway your way.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
Why wait to say? At least I did it my way. I wait too fast. But in my heart, I understand. I made my move, and it was all about you.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, It's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz with you here, Declan Cougar, and Josh Fenwick. Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Well, I've ruffled some feathers here amongst everyone in the studio and Chris and Victoria. He was the DJ for a long time, 25 years, wedding DJ. A buffet, we go up at the end, no charge for the bride or groom. Well, it wasn't a buffet for my wedding. Plated meal, yeah, it was like $75 a plate. Plus, we pay so much money for those photographers. Cost $1,000. What's another $50? Well, we had 2 photographers. It was one company, but they sent 2, so 2 more plates. I mean, hey, we did it. At the end of the day, we paid. I swallowed my pride and did it. But like, I don't go to Elks watch parties and say, not coming unless you buy me a meal. Granted, they offer. Very courteous of them. I love them for it. But I'm just saying.
Every man has a line to draw, Connor. We've clearly found yours.
Well, I didn't draw the line. I paid. We did it. Well, all good.
In retrospect,
they were great people. I'm just saying it shouldn't be expected.
Well,
if everyone is willing to do so, absolutely. Like if we're gonna do it, but it shouldn't be like part of the contract. Anyways, I'm clearly in the wrong here, Brock, because you're giving off cheapskate vibes.
Oh,
yeah, but people probably wouldn't say I'm a cheapskate. This is just the one thing for me. Why do I have to provide you a meal?
Everyone's allowed to have their thing, Connor.
It's one thing. That's okay.
I've known you to be a reasonable man. If this is where you draw the line, we will all allow it.
Yeah, well, that's it. I can admit I'm in the wrong. My wife told me I'm in the wrong.
Feelings aren't wrong. Oprah said that.
Did she?
No.
I was gonna say I must have missed that one.
But feelings aren't wrong. If you feel something, generally it's speaking, it's true to you.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing. Like, it's not like we're getting this great deal from these photographers. They're doing pretty good financially from these weddings. What's stopping them from swinging by McDonald's, grabbing a quarter pounder beforehand, you know?
I think it's that you're keeping them during the dinner hour. And when you're keeping somebody in a paid capacity during dinner hour, call it 6 to 7. Generally speaking, if that's like you have a meeting late at the office, and you're going to be there during dinner, you bring in food for everybody as a courtesy. And I expect that's the same courtesy they're extending to wedding photographers, who I don't disagree are well paid. But you want them to leave your wedding, go to McDonald's, and come back?
Go in between. I ordered McDonald's for the wedding party.
And not the photographers?
Well, they weren't with me. I would have offered.
You love McDonald's.
Who doesn't?
It's the best.
Let's get to our big guest of the day. Brought to you by Silent Rides Charter Company. Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies with state-of-the-art motor coaches safely taking your team or group to their next destination. Visit talentrides.ca for more information. We bring in the host of the Kevin Carius Show Monday through Friday here on Sports 1440 from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Kevin Carius. Kevin, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good, Conman. I really love how Declan called me up and said, this is Declan from Sports 1440. Are you ready to go on the afternoon show with Connor on 1440? It was like I'd never spoken to him in my life before.
He's very professional in that way. The bar has been set. And Kevin, before we get going, happy birthday. I apologize. I didn't know it was your birthday until after the fact, but the text line is just blowing up here. A lot of people saying happy birthday. So I hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, thanks very much. We had a lot of listeners texting this morning, so appreciate all the well wishes. Been a great day so far. Looking forward to a nice supper tonight.
Any specific plans you're going out to? A steak dinner or what?
No. I've just been in the garden all since I went to Eskimo or Elks practice, and then I just got back and been in the garden, con man. You know, pulled a little Swiss chard out, watered the tomatoes. You know, making sure everything's tip top shape there.
Right on. So Elks practice today. They take on the Red Blacks on Friday out in Ottawa, 5:30 kickoff. Anything stand out to you today?
You know, well, for one, I get there late, obviously. So practice is, probably a half an hour left to go. So, but I can tell you the one thing that I noticed from today that is similar to how it's been all year is just the attitude and the positivity. And, I ended up talking to Cody Fajardo after, and I told him that, and I said, what is that all about? Why is that? How can you guys be, with maybe one win in the first several games and still be positive? And right now you're coming off a 2-game winning streak that you've won 2 in a row and going for 3. And the attitude is the same. It's the feeling is the same. Yes, there's a little more, that positive feeling because you're winning instead of losing. But for the most part, that generates from the coaching staff and the core leadership group. And I think when you see what we've been looking at the last couple of games, I think that's coming out a little bit more. I also talked to Niles Morgan about it. He said it's a little bit different than it was prior times for him here. So I think that's the one thing that I noticed this morning, that despite being on a winning streak, the attitude is about the same, and the preparation and trying to be prepared is the same as what I saw earlier in the year.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? The last few games we've talked about before, there was games where maybe they lost, but they could have won. And even these games that they have won, there's still a play away here and there from losing. So I don't think they can just kind of rest on their laurels and say, we've got this. I think they have to continue to hammer it down and develop that killer attitude. What have you thought about Cody Fajardo and just the stability he's brought to this offense?
Well, one of the things I asked him today, and we'll have the interview on tomorrow morning, is I asked him about, do you believe in team identity? And is that something that you are, trying to maybe put a stamp on a little bit more now that, he is the bona fide number 1 QB. He is QB1, and there's no denying that. And he gave an interesting answer to that, I thought, because a lot of people say, yeah, we're big on team identity. I'm big on team identity. We have to be this type of team, that type of team, and this is how we're going to play. He talked about identity from game to game and being flexible in the sense of if something doesn't go your way, well, you have to be flexible enough to maybe change your attitude, change your persona, change things that you have to do to move forward. And maybe it is facing adversity. And the same thing going the other way. If things are going your way, maybe you have to be able to show that identity in a different way. So I thought it was an interesting answer. Not necessarily team identity, but more of identity game to game.
We're joined by Kevin Karius, the birthday boy here on the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley and Wanye Gretz sitting in with you. And one of the players that I've been really impressed with, and I'm not alone here, Justin Rankin this year, the more this guy gets the ball, the better he becomes. And I just think this is a guy you got to find ways to get the ball in his hands, whether it's in the pass game, the run game, screens. He's just becoming one of the most dynamic playmakers in the CFL.
He is, and that's another thing that Cody Fajardo said, that if he were voting for, say, MOP of the team right now, Justin Rankin gets his vote. So obviously he said he doesn't have a vote, but he's very impressed. Fajardo was in Rankin, and I think everyone is, especially when you rack up 179 yards in the last game, both rushing and receiving. That shows you that he's a dual threat in the backfield. I'd like to see a little more, couple of sets where both Javon Leake and Justin Rankin are on the field at the same time, just to mix things up, give the defense from the opposition a different look, because Leake can be a very dangerous player, as everyone knows. Actually, today in practice, he was out in the flat, and kind of a route to the end zone just inside pylon. The DB said he was out. The offense guy said he was in. It was that close. So that's one thing I would like to see. But you're right, Rankin is he's a threat right now. Got to continue it. They've got to, and it's opportunity. Look at before this last game against Toronto, amount of touches, amount of opportunity wasn't there in the previous 3-4 games. Last game it was, and the results followed.
I totally agree with you. And we saw that at least once against Toronto, where, you can utilize it. Could be play action to Rankin and maybe get Leak going out in the flat, get a screen set up, whatever it might be. Even just a decoy. It's just the speed on the field would be so good. We saw a little bit last year too with Trey Ford, and I really like seeing that when they do it. Hope they don't go away from it. Like try to make something that oppositions have to scheme for. Now, looking into this matchup against the Ottawa Red Blacks, is this a game? I mean, we've seen the Elks beat them before. Is this a one that you're looking and thinking, the Elks get this one done on Friday night?
Have to, because then if you don't, it's almost like you're taking a step or two forward and then a step back. And I mean, right now, when you look at the standings in the CFL West, Calgary's taking on Saskatchewan this weekend. If Edmonton beats Ottawa, Saskatchewan beats Calgary, both teams are one team's 4-6, one team's 6-4. Then you got a home and home. We had Ed Hervey on this morning and talking about where things happen with the Labor Day weekend, especially here in the West. Yes, there's the one rivalry out east with Toronto and Hamilton. But when you've got Winnipeg, you got Saskatchewan going back to back, the Regina, and then the Banjo Bowl. And then you got Calgary and Edmonton, Labor Day Classic, and then the rematch here. As Ed said this morning, so much can happen standing-wise when it comes to those two games in less than a week, and the standings can turn just like that. And there's a possibility for that to happen.
It's going to be awesome. And then, hey, you know, the influx of potential players, you know, from NFL teams maybe making their way back. There's a couple the Elks could look to add, especially one along the pass rush. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Kev, thanks so much for doing this today. Have a great rest of your birthday. We won't take up any more of your time.
Just one more on that. When I asked Ed the same thing about that, con man, and I said, because I remember, you know, back in the early 2000s, say 20 years ago, covering the team, and it's been a lot of changes when it comes to around NFL cuts. 20 years ago, they used to bring guys in left or right. Now, not so much. And even Ed Hervey said that they're more interested in guys that have been here before, and it could be a guy like Jake Julian, punter. It could be a guy like Elliott Brown. Jake Julian was released, not sure, but Elliott Brown's a guy. But these are guys that are familiar, and then, you know, they have that tie to the franchise already. So I would expect more of that, and not necessarily someone that is a bigger name player that's a cut or whatever, someone that's had, you know, it's got that college rep or something like that. I would expect those other guys that we just mentioned.
Elliott Brown is the exact one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
If he could make his way back to the Edmonton Oilers, what an acquisition that would be at the deadline, or not even at the deadline, just at any point. So thanks so much for doing this, Kev. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Conman. Take care, buddy.
There you go. Kevin Carius, host of the Kevin Carius Show, appropriately titled Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11. Tomorrow, I don't know what they'll be doing tomorrow. Laddie Schmid a little bit busy in the summer, but then on Friday they'll have their guest co-host Eddie Steele. Monday and Friday, and then Wednesdays they got David Schlemko. During the hockey season, Laddie Schmid and Chris Joseph. So you definitely want to check out the Kevin Carius Show here on Sports 1440. Terry says, I'm with you. Wedding photos are freaking expensive. Buy your own food. You had mentioned a good point, Wanye, about if it goes into dinner hours, food could be expected. I would agree with you if it's 9 to 5. That's your job, 9 to 5. But when you're a wedding planner, that's when it happens. Those are the hours you signed up for. No one's forcing you to be a wedding photographer. If you don't like the hours, become I don't even know, sports photographer. Work evenings only. You got to work that dinner hour. Cat Dad said, I worked in banquets for many years and the food was usually not great. Also, it's very common for the DJs and photographers to get food. I agree. I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that they're going to get fed. We fed them. DJ, I get. He was working from like 5 to 2. We're going to hook up the DJ. He gets some cake too.
A $75 dinner on an $8,000 contractor is less than 1% of their total price.
So, what are you saying?
I'm saying it's something that people can negotiate into their contracts. I don't think it's like a material increase of price.
Oh, I can't even get into contracts with you.
Oh my goodness.
You'll crush me.
I don't know about that.
That's your thing.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, be ready for it. You wedding people out there.
Don't get married, man. Say, hey, baby, I love you, but I don't love you $75 to the photographer for some chicken. I don't love you that much.
I wish they got
draw the line.
A discount meal. Triple C in a truck. What if they get in a car accident on the way to getting their $4 hamburger and then you get nobody to do pictures for the rest of the time?
Well, that would be the second worst part of that accident, I would assume.
I would hope they're okay.
Yes.
That would be the real concern. And then I'd say everyone's cell phones out. We had a photo booth, actually. And the photo booth, I would highly recommend to anyone getting married. Everyone after a couple of drinks wants to go get in on the photo booth. Wanye, I'm sure you've been to a few weddings where it's like, photo booth, let's go. Well, maybe not you.
I know some people love that stuff. To each their own.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things. I know I'm wrong. And like, I get why you feed them. You want them to be ready and to do a good job and all that. And I mean, after the fact, they're going to have to go home and edit the photos. So you want to keep them happy with you. I got to feed them then when they're editing photos too. I got to stick them a $50 skip the dishes gift card so they can order in some food. Anything else I have to do for them?
Maybe you should go to their wedding and take their photos.
Yeah.
Maybe you should get into wedding photography because it's clearly lucrative.
I should. It is well, you got to be good at it though, right? That's the thing. Iron says, I'm working all day right through my lunch hour and into my suppertime hour, and I don't think my boss is going to pay me to eat. That's what you signed up for. You don't have to buy somebody lunch if that's their job. If they want lunch, they could bring it or something. Me and Iron, I'm with you. But we are not winning many battles here. Most people are against us. Fed staff is happy staff, and we'll do a better job. Chris and Victoria.
That I agree with Chris.
Yeah. They essentially are getting fed it 100% of the time they do their job. Could you imagine any other industry where that has to happen? 100% of the time, we're feeding you. Maybe restaurant industry. I think people would probably get that. Is it free?
You generally make
discount?
it heavily discounted or free.
Heavily
for staff,
discounted,
depending
yeah.
on who you are.
I could see that. Anyways, we'll move on. It's a moot cause. I lose this one. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update with Declan Kruger. Brought to you by Cattail Crossing. Think your swing's got what it takes? Hit our CCAM bar this weekend for your shot at $10,000 at Cattail Crossing.
MLB Finals from earlier today. Blue Jays falling to the Pirates 2-1. Phillies over the Mariners 11-2. And Tigers over the Astros 7-2. One game in action right now sees the Guardians lead the Diamondbacks 2-1 in the top of the sixth. In the Little League World Series was Taipei over Venezuela 7-3 earlier today. Connecticut up on Nevada 5-3 in the top of the sixth. And getting going right away here, we'll see Santa Cruz, Aruba, and Japan, South Dakota, South Carolina at 5. In the sporting world, the Blue Jays are skipping Eric Lauer's spot in the rotation for their weekend series against the Marlins. John Schneider is adamant it is not a permanent demotion. Colorado Avs have signed forward Victor Olofsson to a one-year, $1.575 million deal, and the Preds have signed 2025 first-round pick Bray Martin to a 3-year ELC. Bears quarterback Tyson Bagent has signed a 2-year extension worth $10 million, where he can earn up to $16 million with incentives, and two-time major champion and current world number 3 Coco Gauff has fired her coach Matthew Daly just days before the start of the U.S. Open. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Share your photo before September 2nd for a chance to win cash prizes or a donation to your favorite community group. Learn more via Vision's Facebook page or go to whatsyourshare.ca.
No, you've been hurt.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Here on Sports 1440 and Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X streams. If you're watching there, hit that like button for us. We appreciate it greatly. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick with you here. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto 649, Gold Ball Jackpot 42 mil. Also, if you're making a deposit, use promo code Gregor50 to get a $50 free bet and use your GameSense, GameSenseAB.ca. Propane P says, I agree with you, Con, on feeding the photographers, but don't media get media meals at Oilers game? I've heard some of your brethren complain about media meals before. I don't know. I don't get out to many Oilers games in the press box. Elks games, the meals were pretty good before. It was $5. Depending on the meal, there was one, it was like a taco, but it was really dry when I got there. That's my own fault for being there late. They've done chicken tenders and tots, which unbelievable for $5. Happy to pay that, but it's changed a little bit. I think the media meal, and Declan, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it ends an hour before the game, which is tough for me to get there when it's a 7:00 game and we're on till 6.
Yeah, I've never had it.
We don't get there in time.
Had it hour before the game
kickoff, and it's on the other side of the stadium.
Yeah,
not in the press box.
Yeah, not very feasible. And like weekend games, it's like, well, you're not gonna bus over there beforehand.
Yeah,
get it. So heard good things though.
At halftime this past game, I went out to the concession and got some chicken nuggets and fries, 2 sauces, both barbecue. But yeah, I've seen. I do like when the sports writers post the pictures of the media meal, because some rinks it looks so good. Some places do a really good job. I think Oilers games have free candy as well, which is pretty nice, but that's fair. All in all, I just think that feed your photographers.
People work better fed.
Yeah.
Whoever said that in the text line, that's a boss talking.
It's true. I'm going to demand that in my next contract with Gregor.
Being fed?
I have to be here during the lunch hour. I must be fed. Maybe he'll work it in.
You could. Some companies feed their staff.
Great companies.
One time I had a meeting about Facebook and I walked out of the room and I'm in a normal office building. I almost got hit by an electric taco truck that drove around in their hallways feeding people.
Those tech companies, though.
Because Zuckerberg knew happy people get fed at work. If I'd been hit by that electric taco truck, that would have been the best thing to happen to me financially. I'd have sued Zuck for every penny he's got.
That would have been huge for you.
Oh,
terrible for Facebook.
It's not fair.
We did have a text come in earlier today. I got to see if I can find it. Just regarding you talked about how you end up watching these prison documentaries, and they reference like the Supermax in Colorado, where you don't see anyone. You're in a tiny
Colorado ADX.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, that's where El Chapo is, and the Unabomber.
Well, El Chapo, they have to put him there, right?
Because he kept escaping.
Yeah.
That's some if you found yourself in solitary confinement, they say for like an hour, you would probably lose your marbles.
Yeah.
And there's people who've spent 30 years in solitary confinement. Crazy.
It is. This is a long one from Lee. Boys, just caught the last few bits of your convo for wedding costs. Not sure the exact conversation, but was just personally having done a wedding. The amount of people I had to make dietary changes was a lot. Most of these catering companies do their best to manage, but it was usually not very good. I've personally filmed a couple of weddings, and being one of the people with dietary restrictions, I don't know how a catering company can butcher something simple like eggs and white rice with a side of veg, but they did. So I ended up passing on the food, which is a waste of money for my friends. So yeah, assuming that you pay for someone's food and add it to the cost, just be respectful. May not be the simplest answer. I think we had it at a hotel in town, and the kitchen staff did a very good job. I think there was a couple they had to alter and make new meals for. certain like celiacs and such, but all in all, not bad. It all started with me saying for a wedding, you just need decent food.
Like McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to bring pizza in for the midnight snack. Hotel wouldn't let us. They brought their own. Smelled good, but
brought their own pizza from the hotel kitchen.
Like they made it, yeah.
Right.
We had a really good chocolate cake at ours too. Really good. Lance says Bobby Hill did 3 days in solitary confinement. He beat the record of Cotton Hill.
Who are those people?
King of the Hill.
I see.
Cartoon. There was a joke on Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Jake Peralta has to go in solitary. He loses his mind as well. It's almost inhumane.
It's exactly inhumane.
But we don't need to get to that discussion of things. Today is also International Radio Day, Wanye.
Who comes up with these things?
Websites. I've seen some posts on social media. Did you ever expect to do radio? Ever in your life?
Sure.
So one day you'd get there?
Well, we had Nation Radio on Team 1260 with Low Tide.
And me.
Were you on as well?
I was
the producer?
First producer, yeah.
Sick. What year was that? 2010?
Couldn't tell you.
I think it's about 2010.
Yeah.
So we've been kind of in and around this space. I don't know. I like coming on here. For me, I'm not somebody who necessarily speaks a lot in day-to-day life. So it forces you to think differently and talk differently and try to be more entertaining. It's good to do things that you don't necessarily think you might do.
I didn't even know Team 1260 was a thing. I went to radio school, not even sure why. Well, looking back at it, I'm like, I don't know why. I just wanted to talk sports. Didn't know there was a station in Edmonton.
What?
Yeah, later applied for it. Got hired. Shout out to Bryn.
You weren't listening to sports radio, but you wanted to be in sports radio.
Yeah. My idea of sports radio was from that Madden video game when in the background of career mode, they would do sports talk radio with players. I was like, this sounds cool. I should do it. Everywhere I go in life, I talk sports. That would make sense to do that for a living. Let's just go do it. And then I found out there was a station in Edmonton. So, okay, I guess I'll start listening and get into it eventually. Declan, how did you get into radio? On this International Radio Day.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I had a friend who was doing the program at Nate, and he invited me and some of my other friends to come and do a show on the student station there. Just had a lot of fun doing it. I also kind of knew the only discernible skill I ever had was talking about sports, and I wanted to parlay that somehow. And then, the program seemed very apt for that. Now here we are. I'm a big star now.
Big star.
Huge. I'm the Connor Halley of Declan Krugers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you hate wedding photographers being fed at weddings?
I take it back. I'm no longer the Connor Halley of Declan Krugers.
Yeah, Declan was pretty upset with me for saying that.
Wow.
You were actually making some really good points about it.
I feel like I came off a little hot. I didn't mean to insult the people.
Well, a big thing for me is I've often said this. I think you're one of the nicest people I've ever met.
I would agree with that.
So for you to have a take this
Let him have
negative,
yes, let him have his day.
I was like, this can't be. This isn't possible.
We all draw the line somewhere.
And Connor's is weirdly wedding photographers.
And
because that wedding photographer was Ashley's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. Can't believe we hired him. Actually, I think it was a couple. I forget their names. They did a great job. And honestly, it doesn't bother me because I probably would have said, oh, let's make sure we get them a plate.
After everything you just said.
But the thing of them saying this is part of the deal is what bugged me. It's how dare you? The audacity on my day to have to get you a plate. But when in reality, I would have done it anyways. Anywho.
Well, while you guys have been sitting here picking apart the wedding photography industry, Tim Tebow has become an owner of the new ECHL team in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, that's good.
And while you guys were talking about wedding photography and other things that irked you, I looked this up. And there's a new stadium being built in Augusta. 10,500 people can sit in it. It is unbelievable. It's a $250 million arena in downtown Augusta, Georgia, built by PCL, local company. Tim Tebow's the owner. What is going on in Augusta?
East Coast League. That's interesting.
Now there's 32 ECHL teams for 32 NHL teams. Tim Tebow's out here making moves, Declan.
Businessman
For sure. Well, couldn't cut it as a tight end with the Jaguars. Tough to do. So listen, yeah, going to whatever works, man.
The
Just
fact
be
he's still in
happy.
the zeitgeist is amazing.
I'm telling you, he's a grinder. He's a hustler.
John texted and I said, "Hey guys, I sold Telus door to door one summer. I wouldn't recommend it, but it played really well. One time, I signed up a guy who was barbecuing steaks at the time. He fed me a steak while I signed him up. Got $100 commission and a steak dinner. Not bad.
That man was not Connor Halley.
No,
He would say, "I'll get your utility packaging, but I'm eating this steak."
I don't have to feed you.
Nope.
I mean, well, like John, when you were out in BC, did you have to work sometimes? 4 to 6 during the dinner hour? You wouldn't expect a meal.
But that's not a wedding hour, 4 to 6, was it? What was the time of the photography?
I should know this. It was mid-afternoon till like 8, early afternoon. I think they were fed actually at the first place we went to as well.
Is it wedding photographers being fed that you're railing against, or is it entitlement?
Entitlement.
I see.
The fact that it has to happen.
I see.
Like I said, I probably would have been like, "Oh, we should feed them. We should give them some food." But when you say you have to, maybe that's my pushback here.
Do you think when Tim Tebow announced that the 2027-28 season was going to have his new team in Augusta, he gave all the reporters dinner?
He might have fed the media a little meal at the press conference.
Boy, would you have been incensed.
I'd be incensed if they said, "You better give us food."
The hockey media of Augusta, Georgia?
Yeah.
They call a lot of shots.
Do they have a team name? Thrashers?
Good question.
And I wonder who the affiliate will be. Maybe we'll have NHL expansion into Atlanta and Tim Tebow's getting ahead of it. And then that franchise becomes the AHL affiliate.
Oh my God. This arena is unreal.
We'll look into it.
I'm not seeing any names here in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Tim Tebow's getting ahead of it. He sees good things coming. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we're going to head down to Houston, Texas, talk some NFL football, specifically the Houston Texans. DJ BDN from ESPN is going to join us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, Josh Fenwick, Declan Kruger, all with you here in the Sports 1440 studios. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 air conditioning install company for slushy lovers. Because while a slushy keeps you cool as an 80s song for a moment, AC from Legacy keeps you cold as ice all season long. A permanent full-body slushy sensation keeping you cold as ice with no payments and no interest for 1 year. Keeping you cool without the brain freeze. That's how you build a legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
At the Nissan All-In Clearout, there's nothing more chill than financing an award-winning Nissan for just 0%. Enjoy the soothing relaxation of zero stress, zero worries, zero indecision. During the Nissan All-In Clearout, get 0% financing plus up to $500 bonus on some of our best-selling models. You have zero reasons to wait. Conditions apply. See your local Nissan dealer today.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more details.
Wendy's most important deal of the day has a fresh lineup. Pick any 2 breakfast items for $4. New 4-piece French toast sticks, bacon or sausage wrap, biscuit or English muffin sandwiches, small hot coffee, and more. Limited time only at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra.
tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
I fly with the stars in the sky. I am no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about me and who I fire. I get what I desire, it's my empire. And yes, I call the shots, I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water upon the vampire. In this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with a sling. This very moment.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Here on Sports 1440, also streaming on Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz with you here. We've also got Declan Kruger keeping us on track, and the young Josh Fenwick keeping us going on the stream. So if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, X, make sure you hit that like button right now. We're going to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in project, service, tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net. We'll head down to Houston, talk some Texans with ESPN Texans reporter DJ Bienemy. DJ, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, really good. And we appreciate you joining us here on the show, taking some time away from what I assume is a busy time down in Houston. I think first things first, we got to look at the quarterback position for the Texans. And CJ Stroud burst onto the scene his rookie year, absolutely crushing it. Was doing a really good job of ball security as well. Only 5 interceptions. Then in the sophomore season, 2 more games played. Touchdowns dropped a little bit and the interceptions went up. What are your expectations for CJ Stroud going into year 3?
Having more command and control of the offense. I think this year he's going to be able to make audibles, check at the line of scrimmage. So he's going to just have more on his plate. So there's going to be some bumps and bruises with that. But, you know, I think one thing that's very clear, he watches a lot of film. He's a student of the game, and he'll get better at that. So I think if he has a better control of the entire operation, he'll be able to do some of these things better. Going into year 3, I think we're almost to ascend and become the best version that you can be as a quarterback. You got to basically be a coach on the field. Like you got to be able to, all right, let's switch to this entirely new play that the coach did not call because I'm seeing something completely different. Now, you got to earn that trust, but that's the only way you can ascend to being one of the elite of the elites. It's rare where any of the like top guys can't do that. Because at the end of the day, right, like you got to be able to be part of the game plan. I remember I was watching a video with Tom Brady. Tom Brady said he used to be a part of the game plan, right? Like he would be in, I don't know if he was in the game plan meeting room, but he had a major voice in the game plan. So I think the Texans are going to give him some of that this year, and we'll see how it goes. So I think having better command, control of the offense should be the expectation.
DJ, obviously we know keeping him upright is going to be a big priority for this team, as it is with every quarterback in the NFL. But they did send out Laramie Tunzel. What are your thoughts on the offensive line this season?
It's kind of mixed, right? I think that it's going to be better than last year. Mm-hmm. But how much better to get to where they want to go, right? Because being better than last year, that's not, I mean, they could put us out there and it'll be a little bit better than last year. So it's really how much better does it get from last year? And is that enough to allow you to compete and beat the Kansas Cities of the world, right? The Baltimores of the world, the Buffaloes of the world. That's what it really comes down to. Because if you can't do that, if it doesn't, get better enough to do that, then everything you did was a waste. And now you're wasting the window of the rookie contract. Because right now the Texans aren't paying CJ much, and it's only a matter of time till they got to start paying him some real money. So now that window has shut when you got him for cheap, and now you're going to need him to turn into a guy that can basically, it doesn't really matter what the roster is around him. You can just elevate the guys around him and get you to the playoffs consistently, similar to like Patrick Mahomes, right? Like a Lamar Jackson, like a Josh Allen. So that's kind of where I'm thinking when it comes to offensive. I think they should be better run blocking wise. I do think the rushing scheme fits the players better, but pass blocking is where it's gonna still come down to at the end of the day, and we'll just kind of see. They got a lot of dreaming guys that unfortunately have not been that good throughout their career, but hopefully maybe we'll see how much it will change going into this season.
We're talking Houston Texans with ESPN's DJ Bienemy here on the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley sitting in. And, last year we saw the receivers really step up for the Texans, and Nico Collins was fantastic. The Tank Dell injury, scary, but the team brings in Christian Kirk. They draft Jaden Higgins. When it comes to pass catchers, how is it looking this year for the Texans?
I think the main guy, again, is going to be Nico. And I think after that will be Kirk. And then it starts to get, it's kind of on whoever wants to take those next two spots, that next spot as being the number 3 guy. I think, Jaden Higgins has talent, a lot of talent, but he had a solid camp for a rookie, but it wasn't like he was consistently making a lot of plays. Again, he's a rookie. Like, it's understandable. Like, to be fair to him, you're going from Iowa State DB, the DB you saw at Iowa State to now NFL level DBs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a jump within itself, in all honesty. So it's really about who's going to take that third spot. Because right now, I think Christian Kirk is going to get a lot of the underneath stuff, while Nico kind of gets a combination of all three levels, and they'll kind of go from there. But I think right now it's those two guys, Christian Kirk and Nico, at the top, and then everybody else just kind of falls in order.
On the defensive side of things, and being led obviously by their head coach, D'Amico Ryans, we know they do really good things. And when you have the combination of Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, and then on the back end when it comes to corners, Kamari Lassiter, who really burst onto the scene, and Derek Stingley Jr., who's probably a top 3 corner in the league. I mean, they can rush and cover. But is this the year you think Will Anderson elevates his game even more and gets into maybe that Defensive Player of the Year conversation?
I think that should be the goal for him, right? Like, he's been kind of floating at that really good tier range. I think the goal for him should be like, it's time to elevate to the point where people view you as one of the best defenders in all of football, right? You were taking him a 3 overall, and obviously have the talent. He's a 3-down linebacker. He's great in the run game and obviously good in the pass game. So for me, it's kind of like, all right, it's time for you to take that next step. So what does that next step look like for you, right? It's not just getting more sacks. He can get sacks, but it's just being a complete force, really disruptive all across the board, So I think that's kind of what I think the next step for him should be is that, like, become that guy that every single week we can expect a game-wrecking play. Now, will we get the game-wrecking play every single time? No. But I think once we get to the expectation that we expect him to wreck the game, now he's ascending to a place where the Texans wanted him to be once they took him number 3 overall.
Now, when you look at Derek Stingley Jr. at cornerback, obviously a first-round pick a couple of years ago at LSU, the hype was there, and I think he's really become the guy people expected him to be. Is the plan for him to shadow the top receiver on the opposing side, or are they just going to kind of pick their sides and have Kamari Lassiter take whoever's in front of him?
I think it just depends on who the receiver is, right? Like, I think week 1, they open up against the Rams. It's kind of hard to have him kind of shadow one of those two guys, if Devontae or Puka, because both of them are dangerous, right? They're playing the Jets. I can see a scenario where they, obviously not playing the Jets this year, but they want to shadow one of those guys that would make sense. But it's kind of on a case by case basis, right? Like when they play the Colts, no disrespect to their Colt guys, but do they have a guy worthy of having your best corner travel to cover? I would say no, right? I mean, I get Pittman is straight. Who else they got? AD Mitchell is solid.
Yeah.
Josh Downs is solid, but they have Stingley travel if they're seeing one of the better guys. That's why last year he traveled and covered one-on-one Tyree Hill, covered CeeDee Lamb, traveled to cover DJ Moore. Like the list goes on and on and on. So they kind of pick their spots when it comes to that. And obviously it just kind of depends on which team they're facing this year, if it's worthy of that.
DJ Benemy of ESPN joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show, taking a look at the Houston Texans. Anyone we haven't discussed that has had a good camp and maybe we should watch out for this season?
Kamari Lassiter. He looked like he's going to turn into a Pro Bowl type of corner. It looks like there's a chance they could have 2 Pro Bowl corners. I'm being very, very honest. And he's gonna get a lot of opportunities to make plays because people are gonna avoid Derek a little bit because Derek takes the football away, and people hate turnovers. Viewers hate it, OCs hate it, head coaches hate it. So I think he's a guy that had a really, really good camp. So I think he can elevate into that next tier. I also think another person is the rookie Ariante Ursery. I don't necessarily know if he'll be like, Pro Bowl level tackle year one, but I think he's gonna flash at times and have you think, okay, the Texans got not a steal per se, but the Texans hit on the second round pick, right? So I think those are the 2 guys.
Now, just looking at the AFC South, I think the Texans should run away with this division. They didn't have another team in the division, the AFC South last season, with a record above 500. But if you had to predict a win total for Houston this upcoming season, where would you put the number?
I think the over-under should be 10.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what the number should be, mainly because, we don't know what that line going to look like. They can say a lot of the good things of like, we're going to be more physical, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But at the end of the day, we got to see it. So until we actually see it, it's kind of hard to envision a world where they're a 13, 14-win team with a subpar offensive line. Because they played too many good defenses this year. I mean, they got first place schedule, so they're going to see Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore. That's not even including the fact they got to see the entire AFC West. And the entire AFC West, they all, outside of maybe like Seattle and Arizona, plus half division, but they got D-lines that can get after the quarterback, right? Like San Francisco can get after the quarterback. The Rams can get after the quarterback. Obviously, I think they got to see Denver this year. Denver, I think, led the league in sacks last year or top 2. So they're going to see teams that can truly get after the quarterback. So that O-line, they're going to make a break how good they can be.
Oh, it's going to be a fun year for sure. Gets going in just a couple weeks here. DJ, thanks a lot for doing this today. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
There you go. That is DJ Bienemy. Covers the Houston Texans for ESPN. And yeah, this Texans roster, a very good team. And the injuries maybe not necessarily ideal for them. The Tank Dell one from last year seemed like it could have been avoidable. One, I don't know if you saw it. He was going to make the catch, and his teammate launches himself into him, like back of the end zone. Boom. Helmet on knee, I think. Very avoidable. But as he mentioned, Nico Collins, a good player. They draft Jaden Higgins, second round, gave him a fully guaranteed contract, which doesn't happen for second round picks. Caused a lot of problems around the NFL. They bring in Christian Kirk. I still like Dalton Schultz, former Dallas Cowboy. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if the next step can be taken by C.J. Stroud. I should have asked about Nick Chubb because after, a guy who's blown up his legs multiple occasions, leaves the Cleveland Browns organization, goes to Houston and looking for a bounce back with Joe Mixon. Next time. Anyways, we'll take a break here. I'm just trying to look at some of these texts here. I think the people that have, been opposed to my thoughts on wedding photographer, we found that middle spot. Someone had actually even brought up a very good point saying, some of these weddings are in locations where you can't get food. It's just like, it's just the wedding. So in that situation, it makes a lot of sense.
We got second round players getting guaranteed contracts out here, Connor. Things are tough all over.
It's guaranteed. Well, man, there was a point where 2 players from the second round had signed contracts. That was it, because one player gets fully guaranteed. All of a sudden, the rest of the round is saying, well, where's my guaranteed money? So teams are like, well, we don't want to give you guaranteed money. We'll give you a little bit more, but not fully guaranteed. So it actually slowed the contract signing down quite a bit. A lot of players missed time. Crucial time? Maybe not, but a little bit of time. We'll take a break here, Wanye. When we come back, we'll get to more text. We've got Cam Tate's 2-minute warning as well. It is the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, also streaming on Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X, brought to you by playalberta.ca.
Work never gets done by standing around. You have to put your words into action. And that's exactly what GS Construction does every single day. Our priorities are safety first, quality second, efficiency third. GS Construction works hard. It's true. But first comes the care, the planning, and the people. Underground infrastructure isn't just about machines and trenches and some traffic inconveniences. It's about doing things right. Find out more on what we do. Visit gsconstruction.ca.
On the rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave you with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best live DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk, elevate your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
McDonald's Sundays and snack size shakes are $2 or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats. Like Alex here. My phone. I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
5 trails blazed where others turn back.
15 secret swimming holes discovered.
50 incredible sights that made it all worthwhile.
Measure your Tacoma's reliability and memories, not just mileage. It's time to Toyota. Lease a 2025 Tacoma 4x4 double cab SR5 from $115 weekly for 60 months at 6.79% with $7,699 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
As members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel your life affordably, reliably, and safely. Across the province, natural gas keeps Albertans warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. For more information on the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and its members, or to learn more about how natural gas fuels your community, please visit us at fedgas.com. That's fedgas.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Enjoy a taste of Hawaii with Papa John's Aloha Trio. Try the classic Hawaiian, Super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken pizzas for only $19.99 each at papajohns.ca and on the Papa John's app.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's 3:40. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley with you. Also, Wanye Gretz, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by playalberta.ca. You can use code word Gregor50 with your deposit and get a $50 free bet. Right now at playalberta.ca. Remember, use your game sense. Also tonight, Lotto 649 Gold Ball Jackpot, $42 million. What would change in my life if I won that?
How much?
42 mil.
Canadian?
Canadian, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, lots would change.
Would you take a hot air balloon to every Chargers game for the next 25 years?
No, I'll never go on a hot air balloon.
Even if you had $45 million?
Why would I?
Why wouldn't you?
They're dangerous.
No more dangerous than crossing the street.
Way more dangerous than crossing the street.
Says who?
I have no control in a hot air balloon. I do have control when I cross the street. I had a honk at a girl yesterday.
In a hot air balloon?
178th. No, she's walking across the street. Green light.
Yeah.
Headphones on.
See,
beep, beep.
Hot air balloon, you're in the sky. You have no traffic.
What if I drop? The older I get, the less I like heights, Wanye.
Okay, let me ask you this. $45 million in the bank. What does your television setup look like in your man cave, which might be 55,000 square feet at this point? What is your setup looking like?
Probably like, some people might go theater seating. Not me. I would probably have a really nice sectional with the ability to turn it into like a couch bed.
Oh boy.
Probably like a 98-inch TV or something.
Come on. Just one?
Yeah.
Not an array?
Maybe small ones beside it, like air quote small, 30, 40 inches, 6 on each, 3 on each side. And then, but I would probably rarely use them.
I imagine you sitting down and all the games are on.
Yeah. Like Batman, Dark Knight style.
Oh boy.
Lucius Fox's setup.
But it's all NFL games. It's all different Chargers camera angles.
Yeah.
And you're watching
ISO
cams on every single player.
Oh, Trey Harris, great route. Got to find him, Herb. That'd be me in the basement.
What do you think you would do differently if you had $45 million? Because you're lucky. You actually have a job people would kill for, right?
I hope not.
I think so. Not necessarily you, but like if you're sitting here listening to us right now and you have a real job and you actually do hard work, you're probably like, oh man, that'd be sick to be the guy at the sports station.
Just, it doesn't work that way. If you kill me, you don't get my job. So don't do it.
But you're sitting on 45 M's. Do you quit your job?
I think I might do less work. I'd like it would be all up to Gregor if he would allow me to, but like maybe I just come and do Fantasy Frenzy, work an hour a day.
Whew.
That'd be cool.
That'd be all right.
What would change in your life?
No, I like what I'm doing.
You make 45 mil.
I don't know about that, but I like what I'm doing. I think that playing the lotto is a double-edged sword. It'd be sick to have a lot of money, but if you don't get skills that come along with it, that generally, like if you made $45 million doing road construction,
yeah,
you would have a certain set of $45 million skills. If you're handed a check for $45 million, you're probably about to ruin your life.
I'd probably like put a good chunk away that I can't touch for 20 years, but it, increase in value. Give some to the boy, probably help with the family. Declan said it. I would help out charities as well. I probably not all of it because I want Benny to be set for life, even if that would just make him lazy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I guess I got to go get my ticket and we'll see how it plays out.
You'd go to more Stingers games if you had 45.
Maybe I'd buy the Stingers.
Whoa.
If they're for sale.
Come on.
And the Riverhawks.
Riverhawks.
Not the Oilers. Couldn't afford them.
It's crazy that $45 million against the valuation of the Oilers. They're like, oh, fantastic. You'd like to purchase 0.00003% of the team, would you?
That'll get you some season tickets.
Yeah, $45 million wouldn't go long in season tickets, not with these prices. You'd get like 4 upper concourse seats for 3 seasons, and then you'd be back to square one financially. What would you drive?
I'm not a car guy.
45 million, you better turn into one.
Maybe an Audi SUV or something. I like Audis. That's probably where I'd go.
Would you develop any weird new hobbies? And they're like, oh, ever since Connor won, now he's into growing wine, racing horses, breeding ocelots.
Buy a horse.
Would you?
Yeah.
In Australia, it's not that uncommon for a bunch of buddies to go in together and buy a racehorse, hey? And then they watch it race and they call it a windicate of horse ownership. Would you do something like that? Would you buy a racehorse like the Nuge?
Maybe. I mean, why not? Like, it's just a little bit of thing to keep you busy. I might buy like a franchise of a restaurant.
Ooh.
Open that up.
It's soul crushing.
Open up a Papa John's.
If you got 45 million, don't open a restaurant.
I open up Papa John's and then I banish Hawaiian pizza.
If you have $45 million in the bank, the hardest thing about doing any work was that at any point you could quit and go, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And leave. And that's like a detractor ultimately to working hard. If you bought a Papa John's and you had $45 million in the bank, the first day 3 people called in sick and you had to drive in to start working at 5 a.m., you'd be like, I don't need this. I got $45 million. I'm Connor Halley.
I might just shut down the store for the day. Put a note on it. Everyone's sick.
Would you put out an album? You got good production budget at that point.
No.
You could probably get a feature from a tier 1 singer.
Not everyone needs to do music. And more people should know that.
Would you finance a second Brooke Hogan album?
I like that one song she had with Paul Wall.
They were showing footage of Brooke Hogan's old music videos, and they look old now. I remember when those came out. I was like, ooh, it's modern life.
She married a hockey player.
They always say he's a star in news reports. I don't think Stephen Oleski, is that his name?
I believe so. Played in the NHL, though.
But he wasn't like...
No. I mean, they dropped the star term pretty loosely.
I mean, I don't ever want to hate on somebody.
Rig says, buy the Batmobile, Connor. I think Joe Burrow bought that. I found that out last night on Quarterback. He bought a Batmobile, but he wasn't going to get it for like a year. Phil says, I need to seriously up my lifestyle game. A family trust that limits the amount you can withdraw every year.
Unless there's a really good game of baseball to bet on. That should be in your family trust documents.
It has to be really good.
If there's a Yankees game that you feel a strong urge, you can empty the trust once every 5 years.
Propane P says, last year I had 3 TV setups and a laptop on different NFL games. Man, sensory overload.
I respect people who like that, who run a big array of devices. Like I know people who will have 1 phone, 2 phones, a laptop, 2 screens going. Like you're locked in.
We did 3 TVs when I lived with the boys. That's all we needed. Like, so,
that's it?
Red Zone, 2 games. Let's not go crazy.
In the grand scheme of things that you can buy for yourself as a sports fan, like 1 game in the finals, 1 ticket, or you can buy 4 36-inch TVs and set your room up for the next 20 years. You know what I mean?
Good investment.
Screens are so cheap now.
Oh, yeah. You probably get them secondhand. If you wanted.
Now you're living the dream. Now you're living the $45 million dream. You still buy your TV secondhand? Good for you, Connor.
Cat Dad says, I bet you would sound sick with auto-tune.
Now you're talking.
Does anyone still do auto-tune?
I think T-Pain, he'll roll out the auto-tune track, won't he?
The thing is, he's got a good voice. He doesn't even need it. Josh said, 45 mil, where are you buying a vacation house? Oh, San Diego. Can I own land in the States?
Yeah.
So San Diego.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Can you own land
Maybe
in the States? Why couldn't you?
The shoe swaps as well. Then I'd be me and all the NHL players.
45 million. You could put a plan in place to like buy the house next to the Nuge, then find out where his cabin is and buy the cabin next to the Nuge, and then just keep bumping into the Nuge all the time and be like, hey, don't I see you everywhere? You're like, oh, I don't know. My life's so crazy.
Well, JR Red Deer says 45 mil. That's half of the Nuge's earnings. You could live just like the Nuge.
Oh, what? Exactly.
I also have a horse, Nuge. What are the odds?
You could get surgery to look more like the Nuge. And then every time you run into your neighbor, he's like, that guy's starting to look like me, or am I losing my marbles?
I can't age like you. That guy hasn't aged a minute. I've got some grays in the beard here. Lance says that he worked with a guy who paid $15,000 to rap on Bizarre from D12's new album.
What?
Okay, send us the link for that song.
Oh, man.
We
Are
gotta
you
play
serious?
Bizarre. He was the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always wore like a shower cap.
Yeah.
If you have $45 million and you're not rapping on Bizarre's new album, you're doing something wrong. Like you can do so many side quests with that kind of money.
Yeah. Just like the record on my wall. What's that? Oh, I did a song with Bizarre. Who's he? Don't
even know who D12 is?
He's not the lead singer of D12, baby. That's Eminem. But it could be someone else.
He's in the band. I think it's a startup. And you can rap with virtually anybody. And Snoop Dogg is a client. It's kind of like Cameo. Do you know what Cameo is?
Yes, of course.
So it's like Cameo for rapping. So if you're an up-and-coming rapper and through mysterious legal or non-legal ways, you put your hands on 50 grand, you too could have Slim Thug rapping on your album. With 45 million, you could make a star-studded mixtape.
That is true. So like you just put money out, they'll do a verse for you?
Yeah. Like DJ Khaled.
Who would you bring on?
45 million? I think you have to make a mixtape at 45 million. It depends who's hot. I'd only get up and comers. I don't want a bunch of old rap fans to like me.
You know what I would do? I would make beats on Apple Music or whatever, and then they'd have to do songs on it.
So sick.
It'd be the worst. I'd hate it.
Bring back Nail Yakupov as a personal assistant?
No.
He hasn't retired yet. He's making $3 million still in the K.
Jeez, good for him.
He's doing great, Nail Yakupov. You ever follow him on social media?
No, I don't.
He is loving life.
John of St. Albert says D12 was in Edmonton on Friday at the River Cree.
Including Eminem?
Unlikely. Doug Flutie has a Batmobile. J-Dog tells us.
Doug Flutie has a Batmobile.
Doug Flutie's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
There was the interview of Heisman winners and who is the best to hang out with when they all get together. Doug Flutie.
Really?
Guy plays the drums.
What?
Yeah, he's awesome.
Different times.
Bill says buy a hot air balloon.
Bill, now you're talking. Did you see that a hot air balloon crashed in South Edmonton into a roof of a house?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with safety of overall
It landed
hot air
on
balloons.
it. Did you see who the advertiser was on the air balloon?
Are we allowed to say it on the air?
Yeah, their client.
Oh, Mr. Reuter.
Mr. Reuter.
If I was Mr. Reuter, I'd have been like, this is good advertising.
That's what you call service.
Virality.
He just landed in. He needed help. Mr. Reuter showed up.
45 million, I might take a speedboat on the river to work every morning. Winter or summer. I'll pay to keep the ice clear.
I know what your plans are.
Come zipping in.
Look out, Leduc.
Oh boy. No, that'd be different. You don't have 45 million Canadian. You don't have storming Leduc money quite yet.
Oddball says with 45 mil, you could build a giant mechanical spider from Wild Wild West.
Oh, and take Leduc.
Leduc
by force.
Yakupov has so many cups in whatever league he plays in. He's a star. And he's the same birthday as me. That's from Triple C in a truck.
That's sick, Triple C. He is, man. Like they do mustache night where all the little kids got sombreros and little mustaches to hold up like Yak. Like he is not sad he's not in the NHL in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you're from Russia, you grew up watching the KHL probably, right?
Sure.
So you want to play the best of the best in the NHL lifestyle, glamorous and all that sort of thing. But I don't think for those players, it'd be like the worst thing to come back and playing your homeland.
He
makes good money.
Well, and argue it's probably tax-free. Let's get real.
Mhm.
I think his dad's the GM of his team.
Oh, really? You know how Gregor had mentioned in the new CBA, there could be exceptions for players to play in the AHL?
Yeah.
I had always wished that Nail Yakupov would have been able to go from Sarnia to AHL. That level in between, get a better understanding of like the English language, learn the game a little bit more at a professional level, work on the things he had to, and then get led into the NHL or called up. That was always my thought. Not all the time, not every player, but the odd player, I think going to the AHL would be a benefit.
If we're as an organization going to pick players that are from, let's call it off the beaten track locations, the Urals of Russia, an 18-year-old kid, yes, he played in Sarnia, but he's going to experience significant culture shock.
Yeah.
And if we as an organization aren't going to help a guy like that, we shouldn't pick guys like that. And that extends to Puljujärvi as well, coming in from northern Finland, riding some sort of reindeer. If we as an organization don't have other Finns to keep him around, people who can help him with city life and finish, pick Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
He'll have no culture shock.
And that, I mean, that's been well discussed with Jesse Puljujärvi for sure. Like there should have been on both sides more of an effort, help him learn English, communicate with the teammates, fit in a little bit better. And that's going to translate on the ice automatically.
If we have an 18-year-old Russian who's a first-round draft pick, we need a 31-year-old Russian who's renowned for being nice. If we have an 18-year-old Finnish super kid, we need a 32-year-old Finnish family who will let him live in the basement of their mansion.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have hurt. John says, who looks older, Nuge at his current age or 20-year-old Bouchard? Yeah, well, probably Bouchard.
I feel like there's some guys you look at, like, have you ever seen Ronaldo before and after all the work he's done?
Yeah.
He's done a good job, right?
Yep.
The Nuge, I feel like if he hadn't played hockey, would be living in Red Deer right now, unaged.
Yeah.
It's not money that makes the Nuge look like that.
Just
it's his
like
genetics.
An electrician that is a journeyman but looks like he's a first year or something. Yeah,
Like,
who's that young guy?
Dang, Ryan, you haven't changed a bit. Yeah, well, that's life in the electrician game.
VR Greg says there's a little 9-hole golf course back in the valley in Nova Scotia. I'd buy that, fix it up, and make it free for under 12s and play it every morning. Hire some locals for maintenance. I can dream. That's a real nice dream.
That's a
VR
great
Greg.
dream, dude. That's the kind of thing you should do if you win the lottery.
Okay, well, if I win 45 mil, it's 42 million tonight, but whatever, close enough. I'll try to buy Dragon's Head. I'll throw it an offer and make it free for kids under 15.
You're better to take a big portion of your money and do that, and it gives you purpose.
Yeah.
If you're like, you know what I'm going to do? Stop being friends with all my friends, get a new marriage partner who only knows me as the $45 million man and race Lamborghinis. You are going to be living an empty existence, my friends. If you own a 9-hole golf course and all the kids play for free, you got something to do every day.
Yeah. Leave a legacy too. The minute I die, we'll call it Connor Head.
If you have that kind of money, you leave in your will enough cash for a 200-foot statue of yourself on the first tee. And it says the Eternal Marshal.
Like Big Tex. That's a thing in Texas, I think.
What do they do?
Big, huge dude. Big Tex.
Oh, boy.
I think it's a thing. It was in King of the Hill. Anyway. Wanye, let's take a break. We skipped Cam Tates. We'll get to him in the 4 o'clock segment coming up next. But right now, I'll get to a Sports 1440 update with Declan Kruger, brought to you by 01 Hockeyology. Training that improves your game at 01 Hockeyology. AI-driven treadmills, full ice drills, and data-backed coaching will take your offseason to the next level. Sign up now at 01 Hockey. That's ZERONE.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Finals from the majors today saw the Blue Jays falling to the Pirates 2-1. Phillies beating the Mariners 11-2, and the Tigers beating the Astros 7-2. One game right now. Guardians and Diamondbacks tied 2-2 in extras. That one currently in the top of the 10th. Cardinals and Marlins will go in about 40 minutes times, and the Mets and Nats will go in about 45. In the Little League World Series was Chinese Taipei over Venezuela 7-3. And Connecticut currently leads Nevada 5-3 in the top of the 6th. News from the sporting world is the Blue Jays are skipping Eric Lauer's spot in the rotation for their weekend series against the Marlins, but manager John Schneider is adamant it is not a permanent move. They have also demoted their reliever, Braden Fisher, to AAA Buffalo. Chicago Bears quarterback Tyson Bagent has signed a 2-year extension worth $10 million that can be up to worth $16 million with incentives. And Tiger Woods was appointed today to chair a new committee charged with tackling a fresh look at a competitive model for how the PGA Tour runs its tournaments. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Oodle Noodle origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
New Jizz Nuggets. This is New Jizz Nuggets, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. What nugget of cooling advice does Nuge have today?
An air conditioner works by blowing air across the cold evaporator coil where the heat is absorbed into the refrigerant. I actually don't know what that means. Kind of like Zach Hyman with goaltender interference. Sorry, Zach.
Well, you got me there. Get no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling. Proud sponsor of New Jizz Nuggets.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
The ATB Classic is returning to Northern Bear Golf Club.
An international field of professionals will battle it out on their path towards the PGA Tour.
Advance tickets are $20 or upgrade your access to sit greenside in the Sports 1440 Birdie Bar. Presented by Sleeman.
Net proceeds go to Youth on Course to give kids age 6 to 18 access to play golf for just $5.
Come see the future stars of the PGA Tour.
The ATB Classic.
September 11th to 14th.
Get your tickets at atbclassic.com.
warm. Shop the Big Red Sale at Canadian Tire until August 21st and save up to 50% on Back to It essentials. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
What's my name?
Are you Ellie?
It's Mary Jane, analyzing the game.
And the game done chose me
to bring pain.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden. Rotator cuff tears and tendinitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
He's not just another pair of glasses. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for checking out Edmonton Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, also streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Hit the like button if you are watching on one of those platforms. We do appreciate it. Of course, Connor Halley sitting in for Jason Gregor, who's vacationing for a little bit longer here. We got Wanye Gretz, Declan, and Josh keeping us on track. The text line, 1-833-414-1440. If you want to get in on the conversation, Jason Gregor Show brought to you by Lotto, 649 Gold Ball Jackpot. Well, PlayAlberta.ca. That's where you can get it. You can also use code word Gregor50 and get a $50 free play with your deposit. Use your Game Sense, GameSenseAB.ca. Make sure you're smart out there. Don't wager more than you can afford. Wanye, a lot of text coming in here about some of our past conversation. The Rig said, didn't the Flutie brothers have a band at one point? I think so. Darren?
Flutie brothers.
Was that what they were called?
I think so.
I mean, it's a good name.
Darren Flutie. There's a guy we haven't talked about in a long time.
Good receiver.
They were rolling, those two.
82. Would have been Danny McManus to Darren Flutie.
Oh,
what a combination. Talking about people who, after money, change their look a little bit. Triple C in a truck says Ronaldo and Brady.
Has Brady, what? I thought he just got muscular and looks good. Like, what does he actually, what would you say he's had done?
I don't know the correct term.
Chin implant?
His face is a little different.
Like Botox different, or he had an eye removed?
Probably Botox more than anything.
He looks tanned.
Remember long hair Brady?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the guy you weren't messing with.
Oh, boy.
He was pretty good.
Remember when David Beckham met Nelson Mandela and had cornrows in his hair?
Yeah. Beck's had some looks.
That was good for the culture. David Beckham. Like, Ronaldo's good looking, but he's good looking in a, like, never changing way.
Mm-hmm.
David Beckham's had every look in the catalog.
When he had, like, the shaved head. Oh, Beck's bringing it.
Come on.
Jonathan Albert says, should the Oilers retire RNH's number since he's been with the team since 2011? If
he wins a cup.
I don't think he'll ever get it retired.
If he wins a cup. We don't know the last bit of Nuge's career. He might score 2 cup-winning goals.
Yeah. But they kind of have that Hall of Fame policy. So.
You don't know what the Nuge is going to do in his career, man.
Yeah.
He's a high-level performer.
Maybe.
Who might be put in some situations in the next 4 or 5 years to win some cups.
He should be first ballot Oilers Hall of Fame or whatever it is. That ring, first ballot. But I don't know what retired. Maybe unofficially. Nobody wear that number. McDavid and Draisaitl, locks for that to happen.
I think if McDavid and Draisaitl didn't win another game or score another point, they're both first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yep, I would be with you. I would for sure. I mean, Draisaitl's going to get to 1,000 this year in all likelihood. So McDavid's already there. And what they've done in their short time, they've both been MVPs, 50 goal scorers. Yeah.
I never in my life thought I would see 2 Oilers this good. Never.
We knew it with McDavid. But Draisaitl, I don't think anyone thought he would be this good.
But if you like stopped me on the street in 2015, you already had Connor then. 2010. What's a reasonable expectation for a sentient Oilers fan? In your wildest dreams, you couldn't believe that a Connor and a Leon existed.
I mean, in the longest time, who has had that level of superstar? Like the Penguins with Malkin and Crosby.
Hawks.
I don't think either of those are the level, though.
Yeah, you're right.
Like
You're right.
MVP, both of them.
Yeah,
I mean, Taves came real
Ducks,
good.
Perry and Getzlaff.
Yeah, but like Perry's best season, like not even 100 points, right? Or was it?
I think he
He had 50 goals.
Yeah. 90?
90 points. So yeah, like not to that level. Colorado Avalanche, McKinnon, Makar, Rantanen.
One's a D though.
One's a D, but like superstar.
Yeah.
Tough to get there. But
Maybe
you're
just
right.
Pittsburgh.
I never would have thought that either.
Never.
And when they drafted Leon, like I had seen him play with PA, I'm like, oh, this guy's good. Did never in my wildest dreams would have thought 50 goal score. But he's just a testament to those players who go out there and work and get better every year.
Yes.
And when you see the guys that have the talent and don't get better like that, I just think they don't want it as much as Leon Draisaitl wanted it. Like he put in the work and became an elite goal scorer.
And Leon gets also better looking every season.
Better with age.
Do you remember when he did that interview and he was in Europe doing press? He was wearing that huge Rolex talking to, I think it was Elliot Friedman, about how he told Connor to score 50 goals. Remember that interview?
Yeah, I do actually.
I remember seeing him like, oh, we haven't seen him in 8 weeks. He looks unbelievable. Leon is aging well.
And also just in terms of like skating, I think his skating improved so much.
Shooting.
Ultimate respect for him. Yeah. He put in the work.
Totally.
Jimmy says, hey guys, sorry to interrupt the conversation, but all those players you mentioned have Stanley Cups. The other two do not. Well, yeah, of course. But I'm just talking individual talent. Sometimes the most talented players don't win rings. That's just life. They also have many more years in Edmonton to try to do so.
We hope.
We hope so. Cheeser says Sakic Forsberg. Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Those two guys were dynamic.
Sakic, Forsberg.
I mean, you could go to Detroit like Fedorov, Yzerman.
Yeah.
Lidstrom.
That'd be fair.
Good players. But if we talk like the last 20 years, it's not quite as common.
Jonathan Huberdeau, Nazem Kadri.
Jimmy says they're also Hall of Famers, so the credentials are pretty good. In my opinion, you can score 50 goals and lose every time. What is that to you?
The Rick Nash warning?
Well, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, to some people, the individual accolades are going to be worth more than others, than to some people. Like, if McDavid and Draisaitl never win a Stanley Cup, I will always say McDavid is still the most skilled player I've ever seen. You know, didn't win a cup, so be it. But I understand that a lot of people will use that as a point. Never got a ring. You know,
they will.
Yeah,
salty haters.
They
out
haven't
there.
done it yet.
They will.
Well, let's get to Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. I'm intrigued to see what Tater brings up today. Brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They're hiring HVAC installers and plumbers. Starting bonus to the right candidates. Strong benefits, RRSP matching, tuition reimbursement. You can apply today at legacyheating.ca. It is International Radio Day today. Cam Tate always wanted to be in radio. Couldn't do so until now. But with the help of technology, let's hear Cam Tate's latest edition of the 2-minute warning.
When I was waiting for the cookie truck, otherwise known as the dedicated accessible transit service, after the Elks game over there Friday night, I felt I was waiting for my ride after a hockey game. Man, it was cold. And that means hockey season is only a few shots. Icing shots, you understand, away heck. The Alberta Junior Hockey League drops the pucks next Tuesday, and there's a new, I'm trying to choose my words very carefully here. Twist, maybe? Wrinkle, perhaps? How about opportunity tell you what? You and only you decide. The NCAA has made it possible for players in junior leagues around our hoods. That means the Alberta Junior Hockey League and the Western Hockey League have the option of taking their skates, sticks, and equipment bags and play NC double. A hockey. Money. It talks, doesn't it? Reports suggest one Gavin McKenna is getting north, as in Canada, of $700,000 playing for Penn State this season. $700,000 there, Connor Halley. Noodle doodle that. Now I know times change all the time, right? And I know the value of being able to adapt, adjust to change, and maybe this paid route to the NCAA and then to the big show. The National Hockey League is the new way of junior hockey. Call me old school if you want. There's a romance, I think, of a young man leaving home as a 15-year-old, learning life in a small town where the junior hockey team brings the whole town together during the often grinding Canadian winters, where being billeted with a husband and wife and a house full of young kids builds unlimited character. Rather than staying in a college dorm, I think the new way is a sign of the times. And no matter how many times I clean my glasses, I really don't like those signs. 2-minute warning. Halley, Kruger, Tate, Monday, Wednesday, Sports, 1440.
Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, and yeah, it's different. I mean, the money's going to talk, and we knew that when NIL was introduced to the college athletic level. Like, it was only a matter of time before these guys who are the air quote generational talent, like the future superstars of the NHL, are going to face that temptation. And a big school like Penn State has a lot to offer. Michigan players, Ohio State, they're going to be able to find ways to get these guys paid. I have a hard time blaming Gavin McKenna. The money is one thing, and he's going to get the NHL money at some point. He's going to make a lot of money in his career. He's that good. But to go get the money now while you can, play against older players, live in that lifestyle, the college lifestyle. If I was an 18-year-old kid, I would want to go do that too. Less bus time. Say the education. I don't know how seriously that will be taken because it's going to be one and done.
Sure, Connor.
But before the season starts, if you're like, all right, Connor, you can go to a movie in Medicine Hat, or on a Friday night you can go and watch, or a Saturday, go watch the Nittany Lions take on whomstever, and be at a tailgate in front of watching with 60 other fans, whatever it's 80,000 fans. I know what 18-year-old Connor would have done, and it wouldn't be sitting in Medicine Hat. It'd be going to NCAA. So I can't blame these players at all, to be honest with you.
Plus, getting the money, you never know what's going to happen as an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You might go skating tomorrow morning and catch an edge and go flying into the boards and blow out your knee. The number one priority should be obtaining the bag. Especially when you're super young. Once you're a few years into your career, you've got a little bit more stability. I think you can take different chances, but right off the bat, get the money.
And I would say for certain players, I could make a case for playing the WHL, OHL. It'd be better for you playing more games, playing more hockey. I think for a lot of guys, that's the right way to go. But for Gavin McKenna, for him to use this to get stronger too, because during the week, there's no games, right? Less travel. You can just hit the gym, work out, get strong, and then you're playing games, less games. I mean, for him, I think it makes a lot of sense. But I get totally what Cam's saying. Less here, but you love PA, right? No, not PA. Moose Jaw.
Moose Jaw. Oh yeah.
And on a Friday night in Moose Jaw,
that's the best.
The town's going out to watch it. There's something romantic about that. It's a whole community coming together to support the team for these guys who are really playing for the love of the game, not making $700,000. So it's tough. I think for some guys, there's going to be that they don't care about that. They didn't grow up in it. But you're going to see kids from the Moose Jaws, the PAs, Swift Current, that are that's where I want to be. So I think it's going to kind of change player to player.
Do you think it's going to be bad for the dub?
Yep.
Do you think every team's going to lose their best player?
I don't think every team will. But the Oil Kings have done a pretty good job of retaining their players. And I think playing in a world-class facility helps. Playing in Edmonton with the Oil Kings, I think Calgary would be a team, probably Vancouver. But I think I don't want to just be ripping on Medicine Hat or Prince George, but if you had the opportunity, and for some people to play for Prince George or go play for Michigan, it's going to be a no-brainer. The bus time alone for Prince George is ridiculous. It's a hard sell, and it's a challenge I think that the WHL faces, but I think you're going to still have a lot of those guys that are no, I want to do this. Maybe similar to PGA and Live. You could go play Live, which might be the NCAA of this. It's a little flashy, a little bit better, more money, all that sort of thing. But there's going to be people, I think, that are still loyal to the junior league. And I hope so. But I think it's a challenge for sure.
I think in Moose Jaw, it's a bit different. Moose Jaw being a smaller market, but you hit the nail on the head. It means a lot to the city.
Yeah.
The team is well supported. I think they may lose some players from time to time, but the focus needs to be making the Moose Jaw organization the best you can, making it attractive to all players and fans alike. And if you lose the occasional superstar to the NCAA, I mean, you're not going to be in junior hockey. You're not building 10-year plans for your team.
Yeah.
You're building 3-year plans for your team.
Exactly.
Right.
It's an issue. Like it's going to be a challenge, I think, for a lot of these teams to overcome. And then you wonder what's the move back from the CHL, and geez, can you pay these players? You don't have the budget that the NCAA teams have. They're making so much money from, crowds, like their football programs, basketball, TV deals. Like,
but do they revenue share? Like, does the hockey program in Michigan get money when the football program signs a big deal? How does it work?
I'm not sure exactly, but I mean, you still have the Big Ten network, like the TV network, that probably helps out. And geez, tuition these days, Wanye.
Well,
a lot of money at these
not
schools,
for Gavin McKenna, though.
Yeah, not for Gavin McKenna. I wonder what his major is.
Remember when Mike Comrie played for the University of Michigan?
Yeah.
And then he left and went and played for the Kootenay Ice. Played 20 games and had 800 points, and the Oil signed him. Remember that?
But that's the thing. The college lifestyle, probably not for everyone. Some people might say, you know what? I don't want to go to school, even if it is a bit of a joke. I want to play hockey. I want to do that and just focus strictly on hockey. And I think
come to Moose Jaw. You'll never be behind more than 2 cars in traffic. You can live within line of sight of the stadium and focus on nothing but.
And you can do the tours of the caves, right?
The tunnels.
Yeah. I would like to go do that one day.
If you were a top athlete and you were getting into so you haven't been drafted into pro yet, you're not rich yet, would you want to be in a place with no distractions or every fun thing society has to offer to tempt you?
Person to person, but I think no distractions would be the way to go.
I swear, I heard that interview with Connor. I'm sure we all did. Where they were asking him what he likes about Edmonton. You can tell he likes it here, but he can't quite iterate why.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no traffic. It's a simple life. I think that for someone like Connor, he's actually alluded to why he loves it here. It's a simple life.
Yeah.
There's not traffic. There's not a lot of big city distractions. There's not a lot necessarily going on at night, for good or for bad. But if you want to live a distraction-free life and focus on your craft.
And then on the flip side, go back to different sport, but Willis McGahee. Why'd you want to leave Buffalo? There's nothing to do there. He kind of took a shot at it. Led to a great video from Marshawn Lynch saying about how he loves Applebee's. But some people, personality type is on a Tuesday off night, I'd like to go watch the Red Sox play, or go take in a Patriots game or a Celtics game, or you live in New York, maybe you want to go see a Broadway show. Some people want that. Connor McDavid to me is just hockey all the time. This is where he likes to be.
It's a certain type of profile of player, right? If you've got somebody who's oh, I'm bored, there's nothing to do here at night. You're on the road half the season, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true.
How many players get to the end of their careers and what they were doing at night because there was stuff to do robs them of a good career.
Yeah.
Right. Not too many players are going to come through Edmonton and they're like, you know what it was? The Edmonton lifestyle was just too seductive. Whereas if you go to Las Vegas, and you get $3 million a year, $5 million a year, $7 million a year, and the temptations of Las Vegas are available to you 365 days a year. That's a much harder place to stay focused.
I mean, geez, they've used it as a benefit though, right? Vegas flew for the opposing teams. You live off the Strip. I've heard locals hate the Strip. Don't know how accurate that is.
They treat the Strip like we treat the mall.
I come here every day.
Me too. It's the best. It's the best. I love the mall.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to 5 questions next because you do have to take off a little early today.
Yes, Wanye Jr., he is at school, and if I don't go get him, the government will keep him.
So you will get to 5 questions next, followed by the Oil Report, then Spec, and then Teresa Walker to talk some Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward fought Simmons. How did that go down? All that and more still to come on the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, Facebook, YouTube, and X, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Mr. Rooter connects with Gen Z.
I have 84 followers, as my niece would say. Slay.
No, that's cringe.
How do I get more?
You're a plumber. Make a skibbity toilet joke.
A skibbity what now?
Or make a fashion calendar full of super hot plumbers, Plumbers with drip.
Young lady, I'd appreciate it if you'd stop acting so thirsty around my employees.
Burn, Uncle Mr. Rooter.
Slay.
For a plumber who cooks, call Mr. Rooter.
McDonald's Sundays and snack-size shakes are $2, or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats, like Alex here. My phone. I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
It's the Bricks mattress sale of your dreams. Score dreamy deals like up to 40% off mattresses and queen beds starting at just $269. Get Select King mattresses for the price of a queen and Select Queen mattresses for the price of a twin. Plus, Queen platform bases starting at just $299. Score 20% off metal bed frames when you buy any mattress. And get free local delivery when you buy any mattress on your Flexity card. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for detail. The Brick, saving you more.
At On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tunes.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Chatsworth Brab and 118th.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on the Ford you want. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today.
As members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel your life affordably, reliably, and safely. Across the province, natural gas keeps Albertans warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. For more information on the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and its members, or to learn more about how natural gas fuels your community, please visit us at fedgas.com. That's fedgas.com.
I liked her freshman cipher back in 2020. Oh my god, deep cut. I know. It was really good. It was like growing up, my favorite rap was Baby, I feel they say it all. I want a bag to pay off my sister to it. It was good. It was hard. I still listen to it when I run sometimes. Yeah, they got real bad. People started turning it down. That was a big part for it.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. We're also streaming on Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X. Hit that like button. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Lotto Max 649, Gold Ball, Jackpot, $42 million. The rule is, if you're a listener and you listen, you do have to host a party. It's not my rule, but it is a rule. Also, make a deposit. Put in code word Gregor50 for the $50 free bet. Connor Halley, Wanye Gretz, and Declan Kruger with you here right now. We're going to get to it a little bit early. 5 questions brought to you by The Brick and the mattress sale of your dreams. You can get select king mattresses for the price of a queen and select queen mattresses for the price of a twin. Also, any Springwell mattress at $379 or more, you get the matching box spring for just $99 at The Brick.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
Okay, question number 1. Who are the top 5 players in the NHL in order?
It's a good question. So I'll lay them out for you rapid fire. Number 1, Connor. Number 2, Leon. Maybe I'm a bit of a homer. That's fine. Sid the Kid. On vibes alone for what he's done for the sport, I'll put 3rd, even though his 2025 production may not merit that spot. Nate McKinnon, secretly number 5, going off grid with the Iceman. A lot of momentum coming into next year. He might be in the A, but he'll surprise you in the long run.
Expectations are high.
High. Iceman, number 5.
Number 1, Connor McDavid. I'd say that's undisputed. Number 2, hey, hold on. Hold your horses there, buddy. Nathan McKinnon, Draisaitl 3, Kucherov 4, Makar 5.
Question number 2. We are going to talk to Teresa Walker next hour. What does a successful season look like for Cam Ward and for the Titans?
Successful season for the Titans. Oh my goodness. Don't finish last. I think the bar is low for the Titans this year. I think for Cam Ward, it's progressing throughout the season. You know, as the year goes on, getting a little bit better, staying healthy, not getting pulled, because that has happened before. For Cam Ward, if he throws, 20 some odd touchdowns and limits the interceptions, I think it's a win. But I just want to see progression kind of week to week, hoping by the end of the season, he's really starting to get the NFL game.
I was reading a thing that Cam Ward's holding 5:30 a.m. meetings with all the other rookies. daily at camp.
Leader.
Now, does that translate into something on the field, or will he get run over in week 1 and that's the end of him? I don't know. But a guy trying that hard, you got to give him credit.
Question number 3. Would you bring in Clem Costin on a PTO?
I love Clem Costin, but no.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like we remember the good times, but we have to remember there was times he was also a healthy scratch. So it wasn't always good things. I liked what he brought. I liked his attitude. Obviously, I think he really wanted to be an Oiler. Came back during the playoffs last year, like wore his jersey. Yeah, sure. Bring him in on a PTO. Doesn't mean he's going to get a contract, but why not?
If I was running a team, I would seriously sign a PTO contract every year for a vibes guy, just for the conversation, just for the storylines. Like, you got to do something to build interest in going into the season, right?
Yeah.
Bringing back a former player, giving a PTO to somebody trying to get back in the game. It's a storyline.
All right.
Question number 4. What do you make of the Jake Paul Gervonta Davis fight?
Honestly, like, I don't know what to expect from it. It's cool. I mean, it like I said, I see both sides of it. Is the boxing diehards must hate it because, you know, you're a purist. You want to see the best of the best. And Jake Paul fights don't necessarily give you that. You know, he fights guys past the age of their prime. And, you know, we hear kind of like maybe there's chances they're just extending these things, keeping them a little bit on the rigged side. But I also see that, you know, young kids might be getting exposed to boxing and maybe they want to get into it, even if they shouldn't. And that's Declan's advice. Don't get into it. It maybe gets new eyes on the sport and gets people interested. And to me, you know, if it happens in a way that maybe people don't like, it still gets maybe people to watch the sport and get into it. So I think it's a good thing. Will I watch it? I cannot say for sure, but the reason I watch these is to maybe see Jake Paul go down. So maybe I'll tune into it, Declan.
I think in the grand scheme of things, he's keeping interest in the sport. He's keeping young eyeballs on the sport as well. I think he's doing it by playing a character, and I think he knows what he's doing. So I think it'll be a good fight, and he may have his head knocked off. Who knows?
Question number 5. What is on your Mount Rushmore of overrated things?
Declan, I can't wait to hear yours because I know they're going to be controversial, like water and sunlight and other things we need to live. I'm just going to give them to you quick. Number 1, superhero movies. I don't get it.
It's a great pick.
I don't get it. Number 2, this is controversial. The UFC. I don't get it. I know people who live for this stuff. I don't get it. Number 3, the city of Calgary. I don't get it. Why would you want to live there? We could just go up QE2 a couple hours and live in Edmonton. Number 4, the city of Los Angeles. I've never been to LA and enjoyed it. You sit in traffic all the time. Everywhere I go, I'm scared I'm going to get murdered. I didn't really enjoy myself in Los Angeles, so I'll put it on the list.
I have a real tough time with things being overrated because I think everything is appropriately rated.
Really?
If it's very popular, then to many people, it's popular for a reason. That being said, like in my eyes, and I'll use one person as an example, but like celebrity obsession, I don't get it.
I have that.
So like Taylor Swift.
I have that.
When people are like, I'm going to the show and I'm just going to cry the whole time.
Sure.
I'm like that. Why? Like it speaks to you clearly. And what is it like? Who am I to say that it's weird, but I don't understand it? Like, so maybe I'll kind of go with what you're saying. Things like, I don't get it. Wasting a ton of money on expensive cars. Again, they look beautiful. I get that. But the second you drive it off the lot, it's depreciating, right?
But it's like a little vacation every day going in a nice car. Little 5-minute vacation as you go to the store.
Sushi, overrated.
Oh,
little gross animals from the sea. All seafood in general, but I hate it. But people love it, so I can't say it's underrated or overrated. Like people love it. They make restaurants specifically for it. And the last one, oh dear, I don't even know.
Mountain Dew.
Love Mountain Dew.
Oh,
love Code Red. Love them all. I wanted to do like a sporting league, like you have the UFC in that. Live Golf, overrated.
Declan, I need to hear yours.
I honestly didn't really think about this one too hard. I think I think fame is a little overrated. I think clubbing is overrated.
Like clubbing seals?
Like going to the club.
Going to the club.
I think cheese is a little overrated. I like cheese, but I don't think it enhances every dish the way some people think it does. And then my last one, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a good fourth one.
Give me a Declan one, like the University of Tennessee's defensive line or something.
Oh,
Obscure,
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I like this.
The SEC,
Yeah,
Declan.
the SEC. That's a perfect answer. Actually, you guys combined answers because Tennessee is a top 25 team this year. I don't think they'll finish their really tough SEC schedule. And yes, to your point, Connor, I think the SEC is a little overrated.
The security,
now especially
the Securities and Exchange Commission.
they're okay. I was talking about the Southeastern Conference.
Of course,
because I kind of like bang the drum for the SEC. Like,
you love the SEC.
The SEC's got to come back, and
They've very clearly fallen to the second best league in college football.
I once got into an argument with my roommates because they said Prince is overrated.
Oh,
And I said, how can you sell that many records and be that famous worldwide and be overrated? You're appropriately rated. Everything is appropriately rated.
See, I disagree, but you just listed some good things like sushi, for example.
I think you're saying it's overrated relative to your own life.
100%.
So, like, for example,
No, I
the
just
UFC. I know why other people love it, but I think it's human cockfighting.
and I'm like disagree. I disagree. I'm talking more in the sense of everyone else is wrong.
I think that about the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you see. So
But
we're on
like,
the
I
same
can't
page.
say everyone else is wrong. Their opinion is just as valid as mine. It's like when you guys say, because Madison Beers has double the Instagram followers, but it's different people. Like, so 12-year-olds are allowed to have opinions for
Listen.
the rest of their lives. They can think that they like her more than, Haley Steinfeld. Who am I to say, because you're 10 and on the internet, you don't get a voice? Like, I can't say that.
10-year-olds don't know anything.
But they have a voice.
Is that Madison Beer's fan base? 10-year-olds?
I gotta think she has a lot more 12-year-old fans than Haley Steinfeld.
What? The
But
heck?
those fans are going to grow up to be adults and probably still like her.
No, they're not. They're gonna grow out of that weird fandom they had. Do you still like same things you did when you were 10, outside of the Chargers and Oilers?
Yeah, like I didn't just grow up
Yeah.
and be
When's the last
like,
time you were on a trampoline?
I hate Ninja Turtles. I didn't just grow up
Yeah.
and think that. Well, that's an item. It's an arbitrary item.
Yeah, but it's something you did.
Well, if
But
I
I'm
had
sure you don't do it anymore.
if there was a trampoline in front, do you think I hate trampolines now?
I
think I dislike
I
them?
think you haven't been on a trampoline in 15 years.
Yeah, maybe, but I still would love to. If you had one here, I'd go jump on it.
In the studio?
Yeah. You don't just grow out of things and hate things you used to love. That's what makes reminiscing so good.
Listen, I'm big on reminiscing and nostalgia, but you definitely grew out of things.
Do you hate Ninja Turtles now?
If someone gave me a Ninja Turtle, I'd put it down in about half a second.
But you still had a good, Ninja Turtles were cool.
They were for sure
Secrets
cool
of the
when I was-
Ooze?
They were dope when I was 7.
And you still look back with a little bit of fondness, don't you?
Yeah, but it's like for sure a little bit of fondness. But looking back on something fondly is a lot different than maintaining that interest into today.
I think it's sad how we lose interest in things over time. Like, speaking of Ninja Turtles, I was watching Ninja Turtles with Wanye Jr., my son, who's 4, and they were doing the theme song. And he was like shadow boxing and kicking ass and big kicks and singing the Ninja Turtles song and whizzing around. You just don't have that joie de vivre as an adult. You're like, oh, I wonder how the Oilers PP2 is going to turn out next fall. Probably not what they think.
But then again, Madison Beer, timeless.
So say 10-year-olds, apparently. I don't know what we should be looking to them for leadership.
I don't know that they're all 10.
Long way just saying, I have a hard time saying someone's like overrated or underrated. If people believe that, that's great. Like Taylor Swift is their icon. I don't get it. So from my perspective, like the heart of the question, I don't understand it, but geez, she's like $1 billion industry whenever she goes to a city.
You know what this boils down to, Wanye? He's a Justin Herbert fan.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. It is true.
People cry at a Taylor Swift concert because Taylor Swift is able to articulate their lives, right? So when she writes a song better than most, I think Taylor Swift's unbelievably talented. The reason she resonates with so many people isn't necessarily like the song's catchy. It's just she's able to describe to them what's happening in their lives. That's why people go to Taylor Swift and cry their eyes out.
But like, here's the thing, and I get what you're saying. Like, I really liked Mac Miller when he was doing his earlier stuff, his kind of party phase. I was like, yeah, I kind of party. This is
Senior
cool.
skip day.
Then he gets older and he kind of writes about like more things that might be more relevant to what I'm going through.
Like
I'm
drug addiction.
Well, I didn't get that far into it, but I could okay, I kind of relate with what he's doing. But if I saw him live, RIP, I wouldn't be crying.
Because he hasn't tapped into that part of your soul, which is clearly dead because you're a Justin Herbert fan.
Herbert.
When Nickelback did Savin' Me prior to Game 7, that was an emotional moment for me. That music spoke to me about my life, which at the time was Sean Horkoff. It wasn't about Nickelback's guitar riffs. I don't think music is necessarily about like the mechanics of music. That's why people love it. It's because it speaks to them.
I guess maybe I am just dead inside.
Aw.
Songs don't make me cry.
You've never had music make an emotional impact on you?
I mean, like, I guess, when I heard Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man after a breakup, it spoke to me a little bit.
There you go. Okay, there might
Not-
be flickerings of a soul.
But I wouldn't go to his concert and like cry when I watched it.
I went to the Justin Bieber concert at the height of Bieber mania, Bieber fever. And there was a kid with her dad 2 seats down, and Bieber came out, and she was about 12, and she stood on her chair and danced the entire night. And it's a remarkable thing to witness because it might be the happiest night of her whole life, man.
Yeah.
You don't get that happy later in life.
No.
And there's a time in like a kid's life. It doesn't seem to happen as much with little guys, but little girls where they get the boy band du jour or Taylor Swift singing to them in their own. And like the emotional connection those people have, they may never get that with anybody they know ever again.
Creepy obsession.
I don't think so.
They're obsessed.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's harmless.
But
for
you
the
do
most
grow
part,
out of it.
But some obsessed people do silly things.
When Backstreet Boys do a Backstreet Boys themed carnival cruise and all their fans come back in like their mid 40s, those that are still obsessed like they were when they were 15, it's weird.
MTR says, like, I don't know, man. I loved Topanga from Boy Meets World as a kid, and I still love her.
Oh, yeah. You love the echo in your heart of how you loved her when you were little. Topanga, though, I know what you're saying.
Phil says, every time I hear Dark Side of the Moon, I get a flashback.
There we go. You probably have acid flashbacks. Yes.
Lingers. Comment, you never sat in a dark room after a breakup and listened to the same song that captured exactly how you felt and cried while yelling out the lyrics? No, Lance. I haven't had that moment yet.
I don't think it's that you don't love music. I don't think you feel feelings because you're too caught up in the Chargers.
I do feel feelings. Like we talked about, I don't cry during movies, but you show me one of those like to make a wish videos with little kids getting to live out their dreams. That's what gets me.
The more we have this convo, the less I can picture you crying. You know what I mean? Like most people I can see, like I can see Wanye crying.
Me, what I do?
It's just a couple tears and you take it on the chin. Josh, I can see crying. I can't really picture you crying.
How does Josh cry?
It's ugly.
It's ugly crying? Yeah.
See, he knew I clocked him. I bet I was right about Wanye too.
I don't cry very often. There's only been 2 scenes in major Hollywood pictures that have made me emotional.
Which ones?
Armageddon, when Bruce Willis puts Ben Affleck back on the ship, hits the button to send him back to Liv Tyler. That did something to me.
That'll do it.
Titanic, the scene where the old couple are lying on the bed holding hands when the water rushes into their room. If you don't feel something in that moment, to jail. Connor, you ever cried a movie?
No, real life things, not movies, because I just know they're movies. Real life things, though, absolutely. Like there's a one of this little boy who's battling a disease, and he's a huge Seahawks fan, and he was going to do the Make-A-Wish. He got to visit the team, but he's like, I'm not going until my dad comes back because his dad was working in like the Middle East. It's like, I'm not going until he shows up, and then his dad comes back, and then they go to the Seattle Seahawks facility. I can't watch that without tearing up.
Being a parent made me way more emotional. Did it to you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
Totally more emotional.
Like the first time your baby like squeezes your finger, it's like, oh gosh, welling up a little bit. Yeah. And then you see things and you kind of, I feel like it was like Pam from The Office talks about how she used to watch the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Reservoir Dogs?
No.
Kill Bill?
No.
Jackie
Samuel
Brown?
Jackson, Travolta.
Pulp Fiction.
She like laugh at it. She like, now I have kids. I can't get through it. Yeah. Like I feel like that's a real thing when you become a parent.
I told Wanye Jr. the other day as he was doing his 4-year-old stuff that I loved him. He goes, I know. You're telling me all the time. And then goes back to what he was doing.
I said that to my dad once when I was a kid too.
Did you?
Yeah.
I know, Dad. You're telling me all the time. I'm doing my job.
Stu Barnes and Talladega saying, boys, hardball, G baby. You know what? That one might be the exception.
G baby.
G baby gets shot.
In what movie?
Hardball.
Don't know it.
Keanu Reeves, baseball team.
Oh no.
Oh my! Don't watch
You
it.
cry in a baseball movie?
G baby gets shot. He dies.
He dies.
Yeah.
G baby.
G baby. I watched that in the back of a car on a vacation, and that one actually might have made me tear up. I haven't watched it since. I don't want to. It's a great movie though. End of watch. Is that a sad movie?
I don't know.
Brendan says he knows someone who cried in Free Willy.
Free Willy's sad. Also, the movie where Macaulay Culkin gets stung by bees and dies. What movie was that?
My Girl.
That's a sad movie.
He's allergic to bees. Does she say that or
Get
something?
his glasses.
Yeah.
Oh no! And then they did a sequel. They did My Girl too, even though Macaulay is not in it.
Yeah. Let's take a break. If you want to tell us what movie made you cry, you can. Some already texting in. Roddy says Field of Dreams. Someone else I think had that in there too. A few people. Wanye, you'll be back tomorrow?
I'll be back tomorrow.
Well, we'll talk to you then. Thanks for
All
coming
right.
in today.
Thanks, gang.
We'll take a break. When we come back, maybe the oil report. We got Spec, Teresa Walker going to join us, talk some Tennessee Titans. All that and more on the Jason Gregor Show, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Test drive the ultimate evolution in luxury. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 2.99%. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
Can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast. Visit drvanceelliott.com today, because it's time to be the man you remember.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? You buy Canadian. Buy Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but they're right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at Cantork.com.
He's Alberta's sports authority and lead touchdown winner of his family's backyard flag football games. The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Sports 1440, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick with you here. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Revenue stays in our province. That's always a good thing. If you're making a deposit, Gregor 50. I can get a $50 free bet. Maybe you want to throw that on the weekend, some NFL preseason. Jays taking on the Marlins. Shane Bieber going to get the start or get into the game on Friday. You got the Elks and Red Blacks. Lots of things you could potentially throw the money down on. Remember, use your game sense. Text line 1-833-401-1440. X-Ray Gogs just talking about movies that make you cry. The scene in Armageddon where Bruce Willis tells his daughter he's breaking his promise and not coming home. And then the credits. His crew always brought me to tears for years. Yeah, that's a sad one. That one, you kind of had that one. Life is Beautiful, 1997. As a father, it'll make you cry. Also, since I became a dad, I don't enjoy war movies anymore. From JR in Red Deer. Kind of makes us soft in that way, doesn't it? Dave says, a sports movie that will make you cry? Rudy. When Rudy finally takes the field and his dad is in the crowd to watch. Yeah. So intense. Will make any guy cry. Marley and Me from MTR. That's one that a lot of people have said in the past. I don't know. Maybe it's changed. I haven't really watched any tear jerkers as of late. Maybe I've changed. Backstreet Boys. Jeff and Victoria says, my buddy watched the Backstreet Boys in the Sphere in Vegas and had the best time ever. He's 41, wants to go again. Barf emoji, to each their own, I guess. I have a couple people on Ashley's side of the family actually went down to Vegas and saw them at the Sphere. I haven't talked to them yet, but I've heard it's a good show, and the visuals at the Sphere look absolutely awesome. I don't care who it is. I'd go watch Taylor Swift there. Anyone. I think it looks kind of good. Ranger Nick says, Rudy, I found kind of corny. Well, it's not for everyone. Clayton says, Lord of the Flies, when the kids drop a rock on Piggy. Clay, like to kill it? To eat it? Matt and Leduc, Inside Out every damn time. Yeah, Matt, that's a good one, actually. Good movie, but I get it. Lance says, I cried at Tarzan when I rewatched it in my adult years when his ape dad finally accepts him and calls him son. Classic moment. Let's get to the oil report. Brought to you by Volvo Cars of Edmonton. Discovery Day is on sale. Our event is on now. Lease a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Great vehicles, better service only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. Just kind of scrolling through the news here about the Edmonton Oilers, and we're kind of in the dog days, no doubt about it. But there was an article talking about how no team with a roster heavy as Edmonton has won a Stanley Cup. Top heavy, talking money going to your top end players. That's fine that no team has ever done it. That doesn't mean that it's impossible. And I know that the Edmonton Oilers do have, the big four, similar to what the Maple Leafs had. But the Maple Leafs had it all in one position. It was all up front on the forwards. The Edmonton Oilers, they do have four players making big money. McDavid, Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, and Evan Bouchard. But all of those guys play in different spots. Two on the back end, two up front. And when it matters, those guys elevate their game. I don't think you could say that any of those players don't elevate their game in the playoffs. Some might say Darnell Nurse, and you could make a point. But Evan Bouchard, better in the playoffs. McDavid and Draisaitl, except for the final games of the Stanley Cup final, really bring it. And, Leon Draisaitl's done so for the last few years, even with the high ankle sprain. So I get, talking about the top four players, and they do make a lot of money. I think it just becomes on the management staff to go out there and find players who can potentially, come in and help out with lower salaries. And that's going to be drafting. That's going to be your pro scouts going out there and looking at players that you can bring in on their rookie deals to get the job done. And I think, when you look at the Oilers, how close they've been, they've done a pretty good job of it. And they are kind of afforded that luxury where players that, we could potentially sign elsewhere and make big money might join the Oilers on a cheaper deal. There's that intrigue for a chance to win. Jeff Skinner last year would have been one of them. I know it didn't work out the way people would have hoped, but he's one of those types of players. Victor Arvidsson came over to Edmonton, obviously with the hopes of winning a Stanley Cup. But I wouldn't be too worried about it. I think the Oilers have done a good job of kind of filling in around the edges here with those players. There's certainly guys you'd like to have kept a little bit longer. Like I wish Dylan Holloway would have been a guy that they could have kept, but Mangiapane, I think that's going to be a good guy. You trade for Vasily Podkolzin and you hope that his offensive output can be ramped up a little bit. Ike Howard, a guy you trade for. There's another guy wasn't going to work out in Tampa. Bring him in and hopefully he can contribute. Savoy, cost you Ryan McLeod, a guy who's been pretty good with the Sabres, but you get another cheaper player who you can bring in here, has some skill, and you fill it around the edges. So, yeah, I saw that and I thought, it hasn't happened yet. But what would you rather do? Would you rather not have the guys like McDavid and Draisaitl and Evan Bouchard? Again, I get that people will say Darnell Nurse is overpaid, and I understand that. You'd love to have him for a cheaper deal, but that's the situation you're in. So I don't know. All things considered, I think the Edmonton Oilers done a pretty good job of getting that done. A lot of texts came in about crying. Rowdy Roddy with Dennis. It says Dennis Quaid is the rookie. Oh, Piggy's another kid. I haven't seen that movie. Have you seen Lord of the Flies, Declan?
I read the book.
They kill Piggy?
Yeah, they kill Piggy. It's a good book.
Did they have to do it?
Well, no, that's kind of the whole thing. That's like the whole point of the book is that when you put these kids like on this, island with no supervision and let them rule themselves, that like the worst of humanity and like the worst intrinsic human qualities come to light. And that was kind of what led to Piggy's downfall.
Dang. Ranger Nick also brings up hardball. Yeah, gee, baby, man. Corey says the episode of Futurama with Fry's dog. If you know, you know. Yeah, because he's just waiting for Fry, right? It's a sad one. Metallica at Commonwealth in 2017 when they played Nothing Else Matters. That got me. Austin and Flin Flon. Yeah, good song. I hope they do the Super Bowl this year. I think that'd be awesome. Nathan in Beaumont says, not really an emotional guy whatsoever. Certainly don't sit and sob in movies. However, We Are Marshall got me. Yeah, true story, right? A Man Called Otto. A great show and pulls at the heartstrings from Jag. I might have to check that one out. Lance says, it's okay for men to cry. Con man, let it out. Oh, I have no issue with crying. I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying it doesn't happen necessarily with movies. True stories, like there's YouTube videos, go watch them, of ESPN did a really good job of telling some really good stories, kids meeting their heroes. There's the one of the Iowa Children's Hospital, Declan, that overlooks Hawkeye's Field.
Oh yeah.
And then after the third quarter, everyone in the stands and the players wave up at them. Oh my goodness, like I get goosebumps just talking about it. Like that is just heartwarming for sure. Just those types of things get me. Just not necessarily movies. The movie Up, opening scene, no words. Seeing the couple not able to have kids and the wife passes from Joe Mama. I could see that one. JC says, our buddy said he cried during one of the Transformers movies. We still make fun of him for it. Which one? What happened? Brad Northside says, Rudy. That's a misty one. Rudy's been brought up a couple times. Zad's texting in, good day, gents. Back in college, I went on a quadruple date. We went and saw The Green Mile. Fantastic movie for us guys. Bald? Bald. Cried. Is BALD, threw me off. The four of us bald. Our dates for all four women laughed at us. We didn't get second dates. Well, I mean, I think crying in front of a date shows your sensitive side.
Can't be the first date,
but not the first date.
Can't be the first date. Sorry, guys.
Hold it together and then then show it. Jeff and Victoria says also that the Iron Claw was incredibly sad. That one got me. That's with Zac Efron, right? Wrestling movie? Yeah, I want to watch that for sure. KG says Field of Dreams. Want to have a catch? Nail says Joe Dirt when the dog's nuts are frozen to the deck. Joe Dirt, hey. I saw that movie in a hotel room in San Diego when I was going to a Chargers game back in the day. Something for Joey? Free agent listener says Pursuit of Happiness was a great movie. Yeah. And then Zad says, yeah, we failed that first date mission. Sorry, I dictated the first text. No, that's on me. I got to be better. I got to be more literate, find a way to read that. But yeah, first date, probably not the one you want to cry on, but not for every girl or guy you're with. Maybe for some, that's the key to the start of a healthy relationship. Oddball says when RoboCop killed Clarence. Jeff following up, or maybe when Optimus Prime died in the cartoon Transformers movie in the 80s. You could understand crying during Transformers. The new ones, I will say, I love all the way those Transformers movies end. Get was it Optimus Prime talking and then a Linkin Park song? Great ending. Boys, when Hacksaw. Clouseau dressed up as a dentist and pulling out the wrong teeth of Dreyfus. Not only did I cry, but I dribbled a bit. Toy Story 3, that was the hardest one not to cry in. I haven't seen that one, but I've heard the stories. That's quite the emotional one. We can keep those coming in. Any movies that make you cry? This is a safe place. You can confess to that if you'd like. We got to take a break here. When we come back, Mark Spector will join us. Take a look around the sporting world. Maybe we'll ask him if any movies have made him cry lately. We've also got Teresa Walker joining us from the Associated Press down in Tennessee, Nashville. We're going to talk some Titans and more. Keep the text rolling in 1-833-441-1440. Right now, we'll get to a Sports 1440 update with Declan Kruger, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. They're hiring HVAC installers and plumbers, starting bonuses to the right candidates. Strong benefits, RRSP matching tuition reimbursement. Apply today at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
2 games locked at 0-0 in the majors meant the Nats in the top of the second and the Cardinals and Marlins at the same point. The Blue Jays lost to the Pirates 2-1 earlier today. Phillies beat the Mariners 11-2. Astros lost to the Rangers 7-2. And in 10, it was the Diamondbacks over the Guardians 3-2. In the Little League World Series, right now we have one game. We have Aruba leading Japan 3-0 in the top of the third. Chinese Taipei was able to get by Venezuela 7-3. And Connecticut and Nevada, that one sees Connecticut leading 5-3 in the top of the sixth. The Blue Jays are skipping Eric Lauer's spot in the rotation for the weekend series against the Marlins. And the Colorado Avs have signed forward Victor Olofsson for a 1-year, $1.575 million deal. Tiger Woods was appointed today to chair a new committee charged with taking a fresh look at the competitive model for the PGA runs its tournaments. And two-time major champion and current world number 3 tennis player Coco Gauff has fired Matthew Daly just days before the start of the U.S. Open. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
McDonald's Sundays and snack-size shakes are $2, or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats, like Alex here. My phone. I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
It's the Bricks mattress sale of your dreams. Score dreamy deals like up to 40% off mattresses and queen beds starting at just $269. Get select king mattresses for the price of a queen and select queen mattresses for the price of a twin. Plus, queen platform bases start at just $299. Score 20% off metal bed frames when you buy any mattress. And get free local delivery when you buy any mattress on your Flexity card. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Are you looking for safe and professional travel options? Look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Ah, summer. The sun's out, the road's calling, and your car said, nope. Don't let your summer road trip turn into a roadside nap. Swing by Napa Auto Parts. Napa has the trusted tools, smarts, and quality parts for all your automotive needs this summer. Get your vehicle ready for the road and just in time for your kids to start testing your patience and sanity.
Are we there yet?
With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
What's better than a family reunion? Getting the family discount. At Nisku Ford, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. And we believe our family deserves the very best.
That's why our legendary employee pricing is back. This August, get the Ford you want at the price you deserve with exclusive deals reserved for our closest kin. It's our way of saying, welcome home.
The coffee's on. Drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Hey there, I'm Kim Mitchell, and the Loverboy story for you is doing a gig in a place called Art Park, which is across the border in New York State. A beautiful place outside of Buffalo with a natural amphitheater happening.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and myself breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth double football coverage on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Sports Radio is back. The Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
It's 5:04. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Also streaming on Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X. Hit that like button. If you are watching online, the Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Lotto 649 Gold Ball Jackpot, $42 million tonight. Also, if you are making a deposit, get that free $50 bet with the code word Gregor50. Use your GameSense. GameSenseAB.ca. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick with you here from the Stingray Studios in West Edmonton Mall. Lots to get to on the show. So, of course, we'll head down to Nashville in our next segment. Talk some Tennessee Titans football with Teresa Walker of the Associated Press. But right now, we'll get to the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. They specialize in underground infrastructure and make your life more enjoyable with running water and indoor plumbing. They're the grinders of the construction industry. GSConstruction.com. Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet joins us once again. Spec, how's the day going today?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I spent my entire afternoon trying to put together some Wayfair purchase of my wife. So it's starting to look like what it's supposed to look like. So that's probably a good thing.
Is that like similar to IKEA in the setup or a little more?
Yeah, it's similar to IKEA, but with it's seemingly way more parts. So like I think there's 63 steps in the instruction booklet.
Have you had the meltdown? I know whenever I make something, it's like I could go in confidence. There's a bit of a meltdown. I take a break and then I come back and finish it. Have you had that step in there?
No, only so to me, for my way of doing it is you can tell how bad you screw up by how many step backwards you have to take when you find your error.
Yeah.
Right. So I put this thing together and there's this one piece that's upside down. So there's no place for the screws to go. And I'm like, oh man, but I only had to go back like 2 steps, take a couple things apart. So I think that's pretty good. Like I'll take that every day. I didn't have to disassemble the entire desk. So that was all right.
That's the worst. And it's like the first step and you go all the way back. Spec, it's the middle of summer, so random topics come up on the show here. And I don't even know how we got into it, but we talked about movies or TV shows that have made you tear up a little bit. Anything stand out to you? We're getting Armageddon. Rudy is another popular one.
Made me tear up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. I don't have a lot of ones that make me tear up. Like I never cried watching Rudy. You know, I'm more of a like the only ones that make me or cry are ones like Hostel that just scare the crap out of me so bad.
Yeah.
I don't cry, but I want to cry.
I'm kind of like, for me, those movies don't get me too upset. But then as soon as you show me like a Make-A-Wish video, a real life story, that's the ones that get me. So like I get people say, yeah, I have no, I don't know, soul or whatever. I'm like, no, when I get to the real life stuff, that will get me. But when it comes to TV shows, movies, as of yet, maybe that changes in time. But right now, that stuff doesn't get me.
You know, that old oil change thing they did, remember that?
Yeah.
Back in the Taylor Hall days, that made me cry because it never changed, right? It was oil change and we watched it year after year and it was the same every year. They kept losing and they kept missing the playoffs. So that kind of made me cry a little bit for the poor people that had to make it.
Oil. Yeah, change maybe wasn't necessary in that title as it didn't happen. Too bad it didn't run till Connor McDavid. Maybe that's what they needed to keep it going, give it a little more life. Spec, let's talk a little bit about the Toronto Blue Jays today. And, obviously not ideal. They fall 2-1 to the Pirates, lose 2 of 3. Tommy Pham, of course, gets the 2 RBIs in that one. I wish they could have plunked him, but he did some damage in the first inning. But now they turn their attention to the Miami Marlins, and some good news, Shane Bieber going to make his debut for the club after coming over at the trade deadline. Tommy John surgery, obviously, technology has improved so much. Do you think there should be any concern for his usage? Obviously, they're not going to rush him back, but it's a pretty major surgery.
Yeah, it is. But, so many guys have done it and have rehabbed it and have come back and been absolutely fine. Many of them better, right? Many of them say their arm feels better after Tommy John. So my point would be this, Connor, whatever the rehab process is, like however many pitches he gets to throw, however long it has to be before he can go from, say, 60 pitches to 80 to 100, that stuff's all been figured out a long time ago. It's a manual. Like, I think you walk out of Frank Job's office or whoever's doing those surgeries now with a manual and it says, here's what you do to get back to being a big league pitcher. So I'd like to know if he's got a pitch count when he starts on Friday night. I haven't heard John Schneider talk about it. But if the manual from the Tommy John people says he can't throw 100 pitches yet, then he can't throw 100 pitches yet. I think there's no more to learn about Tommy John surgery than what we've learned already.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I mean, the blueprint is there for him. And, with what he can do, you're obviously going to be cautious. And I'm excited to see what he can do going from Buffalo, where he looked very good, to up to the majors. And whatever it's going to be, I think it's going to be a really good decision. And, I think it's going to pay off for the Blue Jays once they get going here. Any other races right now in the, wild card that you're kind of paying attention to as the season starts to wind down?
Well, I got to say, I'm a Cubs guy. Milwaukee's impressing the hell out of me. Like there's a small market team that doesn't have the money that's beaten up on everybody. They're the best team in baseball, I believe, right now. And, I love to see the little guy have a run like that. Like, I just think that's cool. I love to see him stick it to all the big boys. I'm quite interested in the NL West. San Diego and the Dodgers are going back and forth there for sure. There's some good teams in the NL, man. The Cubs are right at the top of the ladder, and they're in second place behind Milwaukee. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. I always like San Diego. They have power, and they always seem like they're stuck behind the Dodgers a little bit. So those are the races I'm kind of looking at. I still hate the Astros for cheating to win the World Series, so I don't care how they do. I hope they lose. I hold a grudge. I harbor a grudge on that front. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's one that's fair, because so many people are going to watch that and remember what happened and how it kind of fell out in the process. People still bring up the cheaters from the steroid era, right? And there's still people that dislike certain players from the way that was handled. So people don't forget. I'm with you. And yeah, I mean, the Padres, I've got a soft spot for them, being a Chargers fan. They lost the Chargers, but I still hope for the San Diego Padres to find their way. It's just such a tough path getting through the Dodgers. But yeah, that's another good one for sure. Did you happen to see the kind of the mock up for potential MLB realignment if they were to get 2 more teams and having four divisions in each league, 4 teams per? Did you see that?
No, I did not see that. What was the shakeup like?
Well, it's kind of interesting. So, the Blue Jays would be this is from Fox Sports. They had the AL Great Lakes. So the Blue Jays would be with Milwaukee, which would be great right now. And then you also had Detroit and Minnesota in there. But the AL North used to be a fun division. Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies.
Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies. Oh boy, that's first of all a really good division. And because they're all big money teams, that's almost unfair to put them in the same division. I don't love the Blue Jays division. Like, those aren't sexy teams for me, the Tigers. And who are they with? Cleveland and Milwaukee?
Milwaukee and then Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. So, don't love that. I mean, 4-team divisions. Is that really what we're doing? Why are we doing that? So what do we have? 16 aside, 32 teams? That's what we would have then?
That's what they would be doing, yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I'm good with 2 8-team divisions. Sort of like hockey is, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, listen, it's all out the window. I mean, you don't even have to be very old to remember the days when interleague play didn't exist. Now, I don't even know what their rotation is, but every time I turn the TV on, it's two teams playing each other from different leagues. So I don't know how this would work, but upon first blush, I don't think I love that alignment so much.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like the NL, they call it the NL Southwest, Dodgers, Padres, Angels, and then you have the Diamondbacks in there as well. And your Cubbies in this mock-up, it would be the Cubs, Sox, Cards, and Reds. So some good ballparks to check out if you were kind of touring with that team in that division. It'd be some really good ones there. Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet joining us here on the Jason Gregor Show. And now, Spec, we're just 2 days away from the Edmonton Elks looking to make it 3 straight when they take on the Ottawa Red Blacks, a 5:30 start on Friday. And, we talked a little bit about this, earlier on in the week, but just kind of building up that chemistry with Cody Fajardo and, what he's been able to do. Do you expect them to maybe open up the playbook a little bit more as the season goes on? Because as much as the success, that Justin Rankin has had out of the backfield and even as a receiver, I think there's still times where I'm thinking, maybe it'd be okay to test the opposing safety and take some shots downfield.
Well, I mean, a couple things. First of all, it's been a long time since this organization found something that worked. And now we're talking about changing it, right? I'm not sure that I move off of making Rankin my, I guess my feature player in my offense until the other team stops me. If I can beat Ottawa and Rankin has another 173 yards over total yards or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll do it again and say, hey, we won 3 in a row. Like, I get it. At some point you got to spread it out. And at some point the ball's got to go a little deeper. You got to pass more. But I hear all that stuff, but this is a team. When's the last time the Elks won 3 in a row, man? How far back do we have to go? Have they ever won 3 in a row, the Elks?
I wonder if they did it last year because they did win 2 straight against the Stamps, right? They swept the Labor Day matchup there. I'll have to take a look here quickly and see if I can find it.
But the point would be, this isn't a team that can look at a winning formula and go, okay, let's change it for the sake of change. I think you dig in on Rankin for me against Ottawa, and you make Ottawa, right, make you change your game plan a little bit. Because I'll tell you what, the Argos couldn't stop that Rankin feature back game plan. They couldn't stop it. Why should Ottawa be able to stop it? Their defense isn't a whole lot better, I don't think.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Like, I mean, I tweeted it out during the game last week. I'd be giving this guy 30 touches. Just the way he is every time the ball's in his hand. He's electric. Taking some shots downfield, I wouldn't have an issue with either. But I also think that Cody Fajardo, being such a veteran quarterback in this league, he knows when and when not to take those chances. So he'll probably take what the defense gives him. But I'd just like to see the field just stretched out a little bit. We see it all the time against the Elks team taking those shots, but it feels like there might be a little bit of hesitancy to do so. Fajardo knows so much more about football than I do, so I'll trust his decision making.
And we all know that when a team gets, when a defense gets run focused, that's exactly when you put the ball downfield, right? When they start to, when their DBs maybe get a little closer, expecting the run, their linebackers are playing the run. That Fajardo's going to see that when he walks to the line of scrimmage. He's an experienced, smart quarterback. He knows when to audible. He knows what to audible to. So I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but I'm not telling Cody Fajardo, how to run his offense. He's been doing it for a long time. This thing, he's very good at it. He'll know when the time is right to move off the run and to take some shots.
Just going back here, August 3rd to the 17th, they beat the Rough Riders, Lions, and the Ticats. So less than a year ago.
Okay, so they have won 3 here.
Yeah, but after a super slow start, unfortunately didn't help their playoff push too much. As we're joined by Mark Spector here on the Jason Gregor Show. Spec, we also in the Oil Report talked a little bit about the Oilers, and there's an article out there just kind of talking about how it's tough to win in the NHL, paying for players so much of their salaries. And I would argue that the Edmonton Oilers have been so close. They've done a really good job filling out that roster. But McDavid, Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, and Evan Bouchard are taking up quite a big chunk of the cap. Do you think that, Evan Bouchard getting this pay raise really hurts them that much with their roster?
Well, I mean, no, because you're signing a guy that could well be an Olympic Team Canada defenseman. So, like, let's reverse engineer this. Are you telling me that it's a bad idea to keep Evan Bouchard on your team? Like, don't exactly. I don't want to hear that. So, yeah, are you telling me it's we all know the elephant in the room is the one guy making that big dollar is Darnell Nurse, where you could probably pay someone to do his job a little bit less. I get all that, but you want Draisaitl, you want McDavid, you want Bouchard. So, I would say this to you: if Stan Bowman, if this team doesn't win a Stanley Cup this year, it may be time to take a look at some things and maybe change what has been considered the norm around here. And that could affect Darnell Nurse. There were rumors that the Oilers were asking him if they could shop him a little bit last year. I don't know if that's true or not. I have a feeling it wasn't, but I do know this, Connor. His contract does open up over time here, and he does have to submit a certain amount of certain size of no trade list. I haven't looked it up lately. I forget what the number is. But, maybe you have to clear 9.25 somehow. Maybe that's the decision they come to. At this point, I don't think that's what's been costing them the Stanley Cup, is having those 4 guys, has it?
No, I mean, what's the alternative? You're not going to pay these guys. Like you said, the Darnell Nurse contract, I think everybody would agree a couple less million would probably help them out a little bit and maybe more deserved. But yeah, Evan Bouchard, we saw how good he was in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Same with McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, you'd rather have those guys and pay them than not have them. So it's kind of what you have to do. It's interesting. I'm kind of intrigued to see how this season goes down and how those guys elevate their game and when the McDavid contract comes in. And I do believe, but I thought that Darnell Nurse had a little bit of a meme posted on his Instagram story one time when that report was going out. So kind of indicating that didn't happen. And I mean, it probably goes as far as, hey, Darnell, would you waive it? He says no. And then the conversation ends right there. So I couldn't see any reason he would.
I don't even think that they ask. That's a big ask. And a GM wouldn't do that lightly. Like, he would, I would think that, I don't think it ends like that. I don't think you just go to Darnell and one day offhandedly and say, hey, mind if we waive you or trade you? Like, I don't think it works that way. First of all, you do it through the agent, but does the time come? I don't know. Maybe the time comes. You can't always be the same. Like, they've been such a good team going to the Cup 2 years in a row. There's not a lot to argue with there, right? They've been a couple of games away from winning 2 Stanley Cups, but you can't, if it doesn't, that Stanley Cup, if you don't win it, you can't keep coming back with the same recipe. You do have to look at your thing and say, well, I know we're close, but close isn't why we're here. We're here to win, and maybe we got to change something.
Yeah. And I mean, that the elephant in the room on the other side of the league, the Florida Panthers, they're keeping that group together for another run here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this season. It'll be a lot of fun, and we're still weeks away before we really dig into it. So enjoy the rest of your day, Spec. Are you done building it, or are you?
No. I've got the structure of the desk built. Now I'm putting together drawers. So I don't think I could screw the drawers up too bad. But my fear is you go to put them in and you have all those little rails upside down. And that's like, oh, man. So wish me luck.
Yeah, we'll check in tomorrow to make sure you did it. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks for joining us.
All right, thanks, Connor.
There you go. Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet joining us in the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction 521. The texts continue to roll in here talking about those movies that make you cry. And a lot of people, Kevin the latest, to say Marley and Me. Bobby says Only the Brave. See, sometimes I feel like I don't know these movies, so I can't really comment. Bill says the show. Oh, sorry. Dr. JC, new text. Thanks for tuning in, Dr. JC. Cried when Eminem's character met his demise in Happy Gilmore 2. Also for the real Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Chubbs, when he died. And couldn't be in the real movie, the sequel. Yeah, Chubb. Honestly, Carl Weathers was awesome as the original Chubbs. His son being in it felt a little forced in Happy Gilmore 2. Old Yeller. Yeah, that's a classic. Goretz, as he cried during Bohemian Rhapsody, the completely butchered the story of Freddie Mercury. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I wanted to, but I was like, I saw too many movies about musicians, and I was like, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. So I haven't seen that one yet, but I'll have to check it out. The show The Pit can make a guy cry. Phil. Declan, you seen The Pit? I haven't even heard of that.
I've been meaning to get into it. Looks pretty cool. Heard good things. Have not got around to it yet.
The television show MASH, when Raider comes in and announced that Henry Blake was killed on the way home from a war. Yeah, well, any death is going to be sad. Jumpin' Jack Flash, Field of Dreams, Brian's Song. Yeah, it's a good one. 4 Weddings and a Funeral, the eulogy for his friend. Brian's Song is certainly an emotional one. Jim Boss said they tragically Hip's last concert. Good one. That was emotional. Playbook Vic. Step Brothers and any really hilarious movies. I cry more from heavy laughter. Same as you, Connor. Hard for me to cry from a movie. Hard to elicit emotional tears. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a movie for me, and I maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm cold, but real life things, those will get me. Last one here. Josh from Red Deer saying Ford versus Ferrari at the end when they robbed him of victory. It wrecked me. I bawled. That's another one I haven't seen. But if you listen to the show, you know there's tons of movies I haven't seen. We'll take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk some Tennessee Titans. A few of their fans might have bawled last year the way things went, but Cam Ward there, maybe that's the start of a beautiful relationship in Music City. We'll come back, talk to Teresa Walker from the Associated Press. It is the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, Facebook, YouTube, and X, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Some people wake up and get dressed for work in a suit and tie or a nice dress. At GS Construction, we're less fashion forward and more putting our best foot forward. We wear hard hats and steel toe boots, and most importantly, we wear 50 years of experience with pride. It's not glamorous, it's definitely not easy, but it matters. We do it well. So if you'd like to be part of something where your work matters, GS Construction is hiring. Just remember, when you come for an interview, ditch the tie. See more at gsconstruction.ca.
The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Test drive the ultimate evolution in luxury. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 2.99%. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at volvocarsedmonton.com.
The 8th annual Oilers Nation Open tees off Friday, August 29th at 9 a.m. A Texas scramble with fellow golfers, sports fans, and maybe even a few local personalities. Great shots, cold drinks, and a great cause. Gregor's Grads. Sign up at nationgear.ca.
McDonald's Sundays and snack size shakes are $2 or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats. Like Alex here. My phone. I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
If you're thinking of switching to Co-op Propane, there's no better time than now. Eligible customers who switch to Co-op Propane will receive up to 750 liters of free propane. New customers will get a free tank rental for 1 year. For home, farm, cottage, agricultural, or commercial endeavors, Co-op is ready to look after all your propane needs. Speak to a Co-op Fuel Team member about the benefits of switching to Co-op Propane today.
Are you relying on credit cards to make ends meet? Are you making just the minimum payments and carrying a balance month after month? It's time to break free from the debt spiral and take control of your finances. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. During a free consultation, I can explain all your debt relief options and stop your credit card bills from piling up. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cattail Crossing. Early risers, this one's for you. Tee off bright and early and enjoy breakfast on us. Only $55 with Rise and Dine. Book at cattailcrossing.ca.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
The Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Also streaming on Oilers Nation, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Connor Halley sitting in, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick along with me today. The text line, 1-833-401-1440. And get your thoughts in. The topic today, off-topic topic. What makes you cry? Which movies? There's a lot coming in here. And there's a lot of like similar characteristics. Armageddon, and I would say Rudy, Brian's song. A lot of people bringing that one up. Also, Jan, a longtime listener, says The Pit is an awesome show. Now, The Pit, that is based off Grey's Anatomy or ER or something, I believe, Declan. Like, no? It's medical? I thought it was a direct spin-off of one of those. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Marley and Me, another very popular one. So, yeah, if you want to tell us which ones get the waterworks going for you, feel free. 1-833-401-1440. But right now, we will talk some actual sports. So we're going to head down to Nashville, talk some Titans with Teresa Walker, covers the Titans for the Associated Press. Teresa, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I am good, and I'll just say, no, The Pit is not a spin-off, but it's easy to see that because Noah Wiley is the lead character in The Pit and gives an incredible performance. But, yeah, it's set in a ER in a Pittsburgh hospital. It's a great show.
Now, people are saying it does get people a little emotional, a little teary. Has that been the case for you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a great show, but I mean, yeah, it's an emergency room at a medical. Yeah, I mean, in a big city, there's a lot. I did tear up, and I can't wait for the second season. But I mean, that's what those shows are supposed to do, right? Jerk the emotion out of you.
Absolutely. That's what makes it great. That's why we watch, right? So, okay, well, I'm going to put that one to the list. I know my wife's watched season 1 and she loves it. So maybe I'll have to give it a go when she goes to bed. Now, let's talk a little bit about those Tennessee Titans. And because of the number 1 overall pick in Cam Ward, it's certainly an enticing team to watch. And for those college football fans, I mean, you've seen this guy play all over the place. Started off at Incarnate Ward, went to Washington State, then last year went down to the U and played for the Hurricanes. And there's that trend wherever he goes, he throws a lot of touchdowns and very few interceptions. He does a really good job taking care of the ball. So how has Cam Ward looked so far for the Titans in the preseason and training camp?
Well, he's had his moments where you can tell he's a rookie and he's learning. And Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator of the Titans, has done everything possible to try to help his learning curve for the NFL. And by throwing all sorts of looks at him, making him process. And, when he sees something new, you can kind of see him struggle, but then he bounces back the next day. You can see why he went from Incarnate Word to Washington State to Miami. And then, I mean, think about it. A guy who went undrafted or unrecruited coming out of high school, the number 1 pick overall in the NFL. And, that's part of who he is. The offensive coordinator today talked about how he's texting him all the time, 9 o'clock at night, early in the morning. If he's got a question, he's asking, and he's talking with teammates, trying to make sure they're all on the same page. And the thing that has built the buy-in with his teammates following this young man is his accountability. If there's a mistake made, unless it's incredibly blatantly obvious that it was somebody else's fault, he is falling on that sword, so to speak, and saying, it was my bad. I've got to throw a better ball. I've got to make a better decision. There's nothing that gets your team behind you better than that. And then, he can throw the ball down the field. He's looking. The defensive coordinator said at the beginning of the offseason, the thing that always strikes him is how he finds this kid, Cam Ward, has this unique ability to look downfield and somehow, even when he's scrambling, find an open receiver. And that's the kind of thing that when things break down, that's what you need the most out of a young quarterback.
Now, I saw that he got into a scuffle with 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle, 3-time Pro Bowl, 2-time second-team All-Pro Jeffrey Simmons. What led to that? I don't know if you saw it happen. And I mean, to me, that's awesome. Like that's a dog right there.
Well, they've been chirping ever since Jeffrey Simmons joined in at the minicamp to wrap up the offseason. He had heard about the young man talking big and talking trash, and he hadn't shied down. But it was one of those sessions on Monday where Somebody had run. I think it was Tony Pollard ran for a touchdown, and Jeff Simmons got blocked on that play. And then they come back on the very next play, and Cam Ward throws a touchdown pass to Calvin Ridley. They're celebrating. Cam Ward kind of touches Jeff Simmons, and Simmons takes umbrage. And as he said yesterday, it was hot, tempers flare. It was training camp. We're past it. It's like if we're doing joint practices and somebody on the other team touches my quarterback, I'm going after them. And I was glad our offense stood up for our guy, but it's really, really hot in Nashville this week. So, and it's the end of training camp. So it was one of those where it just flared up. And Cam Ward was asked about that today. What did he learn about that little dust up, scuffle, whatever? Because Jeff Simmons did kind of shove him, and he is a big, big man. And Cam Ward said, Jeff Simmons is strong as blank. Fill in the blank.
As a teammate, I would just love that. I'd say, I love that you have that mentality. Don't do it again. You showed us once that you're not going to back down. No need to do it again. So we're talking Tennessee Titans with Teresa Walker of the Associated Press. Now, something that's going to be big time for Cam Ward and the success he has this season is the offensive line and keeping him upright, because we've seen it many times before in the past where, if you have no time to make your reads and make your throws, you're just not going to have success. How's the offensive line looking as a unit?
In these preseason games, granted, they've been playing without two starters. The center, Lloyd Cushenberry, who's off the PUP list, working his way back from an Achilles tendon that ended last season, and right guard Kevin Zeitler, a free agent addition from Detroit. They haven't played him. He's 35. They know what they've got in him. They want him ready for the regular season. So that line has done really well in the preseason, providing time to throw. And, I mean, Cam Ward this preseason is at the top of the list for throwing the ball down the field over 10 yards. And it's because the line is giving him a pocket and time to throw. Now, once Cushenberry's back, Zeitler's back, and it's regular season time, the addition of left tackle Dan Moore from Pittsburgh through free agency, that allowed them to flip rookie J.C. Latham last year from left tackle to right tackle, where he played at Alabama in college. And then Peter Skronsky, who was the first-round pick the year before, they took J.C. Latham. He is just quietly developing into one of the better left guards in the NFL. So it feels, considering what we've seen out of this line the last 2-3 seasons, where it's been a revolving door position, injuries have decimated them. Don't want to get too excited just yet, but there's hope. There's positive vibes from that group. And let's not forget, Bill Callahan, the offensive line guru, has had these guys for a second off season to work with them and make them better.
I want to ask you about some of the pass catching options that he will have. And there might not be anyone happier than Calvin Ridley, who signed a huge deal, 4 years, $92 million before the start of last season. And no disrespect to Will Levis, but bringing in the number 1 overall pick in the draft has to be exciting for him. How is Calvin looking at Cam so far?
Ecstatic. He knows that he's going to be the biggest beneficiary of this young man at quarterback. The coach, Brian Callahan, mixed up the locker room this offseason. He put Ridley's locker right next to Cam Ward's to help them build their chemistry and camaraderie and friendship. And, you watch them throw. Calvin Ridley has almost been giddy at times. He said during one practice that they're going to bring the fun back to Nashville, which would be good. Covering them the last 3 seasons has been downright work. I'm having to work for my paycheck, but this is a guy who had 1,000 yards receiving last year, even with as bad as the Titans offense struggled. He only had 4 touchdowns, though. Most of those went later in the year to somebody else who got a great deal as a free agent to go to Miami and Nick Westbrook-Akine, but those are touchdowns that should be going to Calvin Ridley. Now, the Titans did bring in Tyler Lockett, a veteran who he had heard of Cam Ward thanks to former Seahawks teammate Quandre Diggs, watched him when he was at Washington State. He is happy to be working with this young man. That improv thing, he can't wait to have a chance to work with him out of the slot and make catches. They also brought in Van Jefferson from the Rams, and they drafted 2 receivers on the 3rd day of the draft. His name is Chimeri, but he goes by Chim Dike out of Florida, and then Eligayaminer, who is Stanford, and I'm believing he's Canadian, if I'm remembering correctly. So those 2 are going to get lots of opportunities to play in this offense. They also got a tight end out of Texas in Gunnar Helm. If you saw some of the highlights from last last week against Atlanta. He went up and caught a touchdown, 25 yards in the end zone, double covered, and one of the defenders literally had his hand over his visor, so he couldn't see. He still managed to catch that ball. So there's some young guys who are promising. There's some veterans who seem to be very energized with the chance to play with Cam Ward.
Yeah, Eli Manor. He joined us on the show last year when he was with Stanford, and seems like a great kid. So we're rooting for him. There's a lot of people up here. He's actually from the same province. He's from Medicine Hat, so just a few hours away from us. So a lot of fans up here rooting for him, and I think with that, rooting for the Tennessee Titans. Now, Teresa Walker joining us here, talking about the Titans. She covers the team for the Associated Press. I wanted to ask you about Tyler Lockett, because I can remember a lot of veteran receivers going to the Titans organization, Julio Jones, Randy Moss, Andre Johnson, Eric Moulds, and it doesn't always work out for the best. But how's Tyler Lockett looking?
Oh, he's looking great, and he is looking energized. And I heard him chattering with another reporter. It's like, he's kind of like, don't make me sound old. He definitely seems energized, by being with this young. This is a young team. They're going to be playing a lot of young players, but he's one of the veterans that I think is going to have a chance. And that's the thing. He doesn't have to do a ton, but if he provides that option to Calvin Ridley and the other receivers, I think he's going to have a chance to make plays that matter. And again, that whole ability to vibe with the quarterback and be on the same page and know where he's going and stay alive on a play and keep looking for Cam Ward when he's going downfield. I think that's where Lockett is going to make some of his better plays. And I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he does. And
how about on the defensive side of things? I know obviously Jeffrey Simmons, when he's on his game, he is absolutely a beast in the middle there. Sebastian Joseph Day, I believe another year with the organization. So when you just look on this defense, how does it stack up, and what are your expectations for the group?
Well, it's mixed. Last year they were second in the league in yards per game and yards passing per game. But where they struggled was against the run. They were one of the worst in the league because, and the reason they were so good against the pass, people didn't have to throw against them. They were running all over them. So, and they've got to get off the field on third down. Another area, red zone, you name it, they had their issues. So right now, they let Harold Landry, who led them with 9 sacks last year, go in March. They cut him so they could free up some cap space, go younger. And they brought in Draymond Jones. We'll see how much he's able to do. They still have Arden Key. Cody Barton is a guy that they signed, had been in Denver. He's got a 3-year deal. He is looking like he's found a home, and he's blossoming in the middle of that defense. They've got a couple of young linebackers and James Williams Sr., a 7th-round pick who was playing safety 2 years ago at Miami, and then Cedric Gray, who was a 4th-round pick out of North Carolina. He had an injured rookie year. He is really coming on. If you saw that game in Atlanta, he had a sack. It was split. Disagree with that. And he had an interception wiped out by a penalty. He is really, really playing well the last few weeks. And then the biggest question, though, is at the secondary. L'Jarius Sneed is the veteran. They traded for him last year, gave him a deal, made him the 5th highest paid cornerback in the NFL at that time in March of 24. And then he plays 5 games. And then, it was a hamstring, a quad issue. And then, he told a summer camp, I'm as healthy as I've been. They come to training camp. He starts on the PUP list with the knee. And then we find out, he had a cleanup of the knee in May. So he says he's going to be fine when the lights come on. He'll be ready for the opener September 7th in Denver. But on the other side, there's a guy, Jarvis Brownlee, was a draft pick last year. He started last year because they absolutely had to have him. And he is a guy that has really grown in that spot. And he's the starter opposite of L'Jarius Sneed. They've got Roger McCreary on the side. The depth, though, they don't have depth at any of the positions on the line or across the entire defense. So that's the thing that if anyone gets hurt, they're going to be hurting for sure. And that's why they sit atop the top of the waiver wire. Next week, when all the final cuts happen in the NFL, and for the first 3 weeks of the regular season, they're going to have a chance. I won't be surprised to see this roster churn maybe 5 to 8, maybe 10 spots, because they're going to be able to go out and get people that the good teams in the NFL are cutting. And when you went 3-14 last year, you need a lot of help.
So going into this year, what would expectations be? I assume the Houston Texans probably win the division, but do you think they can make up some ground on the Colts and Jags?
I think they can, because let's look at the history. Last year, Jaden Daniels, the first-year quarterback, comes in and takes Washington to the playoffs. The year before, it was C.J. Stroud with the Houston Texans. So there's a history in this league of, if you're a good quarterback, you can come in and take advantage. And the Titans are playing a last-place schedule. So now the challenge is 4 of the first 6 are on the road. That's a tough way to start a season. But they do have a bunch of them at home at the end. So if they can survive the first half of the season, they've got a chance to make some hay toward the end. And let's just put it this way. Cam Ward is giving them confidence that he can lead them the other way. And if that line and Cam Ward can cut down on the sacks, only 4 teams in the NFL allowed more sacks last year than the Titans. And if they can cut down on the turnovers and self-inflicted mistakes of penalties, that will give them a chance. I've seen some odds. I think they'll have a chance for at least 6 wins this year. And then after that, they're going to have to go out and just, show some people and do some things. It's the NFL. That's why we watch. Parity is never as strong as it is in this league. And it's because you can go from worst to first, and it happens almost every year.
Yeah, and it gets going on September 7th against the Denver Broncos in Denver. So it'll be a tough spot for Cam Ward to kick things off against that really good defense, but it's going to be a lot of fun. All eyes on Cam Ward when it gets going. Teresa, thanks so much for doing this today. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. And y'all take care up there. It's a fun thing covering Alec Manor. He's a good young man.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll be rooting for him for sure. Appreciate it, Teresa.
Thank you.
There you go. Teresa Walker covers the Tennessee Titans for the Associated Press, kicking their season off against Denver. Kyle from West Virginia says, on behalf of Broncos country, I'd like to offer the guest an apology in advance for the whooping we're going to give the Titans on week 1. Well, I mean, hey, that's an easy story for her to write. That might be good. Yeah, Broncos are going to be a good team this year, and playing in Denver, Mile High, that's a tough spot. Not only like physically, the team's good, the air's thinner. That makes things a little bit tougher. You throw one incompletion, the whole crowd chants incomplete. Always bugged me. We'll continue our look around the NFL tomorrow. I should have the voice of the Indianapolis Colts joining us on the program. Talk about Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson and what happened. We will take a break here. When we come back, we can talk a little bit more about movies that have made you cry. I see a few ones going in there. And more. 1-833-401-1440. It is the Jason Gregor Show. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, Facebook, YouTube, and X. Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
It's the Bricks mattress sale of your dreams. Score dreamy deals like up to 40% off mattresses and queen beds starting at just $269. Get select king mattresses for the price of a queen and select queen mattresses for the price of a twin. Plus, queen platform bases starting at just $299. Score 20% off metal bed frames when you buy any mattress. And get free local delivery when you buy any mattress on your Flexity card. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for detail. The Brick, saving you more.
McDonald's sundaes and snack-size shapes are $2. Or get $1 cones exclusively on the McDonald's app. With those prices, your hands are going to be full of treats. Like Alex here. My phone. I got you. App download and registration required. At participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Ford employee pricing is on now, and you pay what we pay on the Ford you want. Visit your Alberta Ford store or Ford.ca today.
We're Johnson, whoa. Proud to be local and family. Our experience to speak for the day. We're Johnson, whoa. Striving to bring you a comfortable home. We're Johnson, whoa.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Jump on OTR's party shuttle buses to Elks games and concerts at Commonwealth. To see all upcoming bus events, visit ontherocks.com.
Look good, feel good, play good. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Thanks for listening to Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$5:49. Welcome back to the Jason Gregor Show here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 and Oilers Nation Facebook, YouTube, and X. Hit that like button. We need you to do that. The Jason Gregor Show brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Text line 1-833-401-1440. Some good news here. Just saw this earlier on today. Should mention it. The NHL and the NHLPA announcing that Utah Mammoth goaltender Connor Ingram has been cleared by the Players Assistance Program and now is going to return to the NHL. So shout out to Connor Ingram for taking care of his health and will now be back in the NHL with the Mammoth next season. Very cool news there. Text line, lots to get to here. Tigers says, you got to give Denver a lot of credit. They turned it around. They had Chubby Russ a couple years ago and things were looking bad. Yeah, I mean, they really did. And, you know, it's crazy. You kind of build up that defense with good additions. Like last year, it was like a no-name defense. A lot of people didn't know too many players there. Patrick Surtain was the right pick. You know, he's going to cut the field in half. He's going to eliminate a receiver. You bring in other positions. Benito became a really good pass rusher. And then on the offensive side of the football, some people thought Bo Nix was a little bit early when he was selected, but he's been good enough to get the job done. The Denver Broncos do deserve some credit. It pains me to say, but we've seen that before. You know, as Teresa just mentioned, the Commanders with Jaden Daniels bringing in a few other pieces there, turn it around very quickly. There was a point where I thought the Philadelphia Eagles were in a lot of trouble. And then all of a sudden, two good drafts. They go out there, they bring in A.J. Brown, make a couple of trades, and, you know, win a Super Bowl just a few years later. So I think that there's a few teams out there that, like, it might not look good, but you bring in the right management, the right coaching staff, and a few players, things can start to change pretty quickly in the NFL. Who's going to be that team this year? I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. I don't think it's going to be the Saints or the Browns or the Titans, but maybe in a couple of years they might get there. We're about to wrap up. I do want to say, if you want to go check out the podcast, you can get them wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Google, Spotify, or just go watch it on Oilers Nation YouTube. We had Yaramchuk on the show earlier today, Kevin Carius, DJ Bienemy joined us to talk some Houston Texans. We heard Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. Of course, Wanye Gretz was by. We had Speck and Teresa Walker. So go check it out. If you missed anything, one of the topics we did get into was emotional movies, things that got you crying. Lance says the end to the show Cyberpunk Edge Runner had me sniffing. I have not seen that. The Yearling from Rod. Haven't seen it. Bambi? Yeah. Bambi's a little emotional. Even Lion King. I don't know, Declan, if that one got you. I saw the first Lion King as a kid. And I mean, I love that Simba got vengeance. I love vengeance in a movie or TV show, but I wasn't in a rush to see the second one. That the way that whole went down, Scar. Not a fan of that one. Good movie as a whole, but that was an emotional part for me.
I don't remember crying at the Lion King. I do remember laughing when Ryan Howard was telling Michael the story of what happened to his uncle or something, but it was just the Lion King. And then he's like, oh, it would take an hour and a half to tell that story. That one always gets me.
That part, very funny. Kevin says, My Girl, when Thomas dies. Now, that was the bee stings, right? I believe that's what it was. Met a lot of people saying Rudy, Wizard Lake Bob, and YYC Ryan. Who didn't cry when Rudy sacked the quarterback? Tears of joy. Brian Fan just texting in, should the Oilers play $5 to $7 million for a goalie? Well, they could, but remember, you've got some dead cap with Jack Campbell. You would have to create some more cap space. And let's face it, like the Oilers believe they're a cup-winning team, so they're going to be spending right up to it. You'd have to create some space. If you could move some players out and do that, then perhaps. But yeah, right now, I think for the time being, the guys that you have in-house are probably the guys that you're going to be seeing for the foreseeable future. Maybe midway through the year they make a trade or something along those lines. But yeah, I am really intrigued to see how it goes for the Edmonton Oilers between the pipes this year. And for a lot of Oilers fans, they wanted that change between the pipes and at the goalie coach position, which the Edmonton Oilers did do. Moving on, they brought in Peter Aubry. And now we'll wait and see, how much of an impact does he make? As Yaremchuk said, like discussing it with NHL goaltenders, former goaltenders, Devin Dubnyk, Carter Hutton, like they kind of roll their eyes. Like there's not that much. We even had Calvin Pickard on when we had the Business of Sports and talking about the goaltending coach. And it didn't make it seem like the role was the biggest. Obviously there's things you work on the offseason. There's things you try to adapt game to game. Look at the tendencies of opposing teams. But the impact, I don't know. We'll see how much it plays out. It's going to be fun, though. There's going to be lots to talk about, Oilers preseason. Once we get into the regular season, hopefully a stronger start. I would love to see them just play at the level they're capable start to finish. Win the division for the first time in ages. Maybe take a President's Trophy. Get that swagger going into the playoffs and see if that changes anything. But that music means we are done. You got Fox Sports Radio coming up next. Also, we'll have a live local coverage resuming tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. on the Kevin Carius Show. But that's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. For Declan Kruger, Josh Fenwick, Wanye Gretz, I'm Connor Halley. We do appreciate you guys tuning in. Truly, check the podcast if you missed anything right now. Sports 1440 update brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Tonight, Gold Ball Jackpot, $42 million. Check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Finals from the majors earlier today was the Pirates over the Jays 2-1, Phillies over the Mariners 11-2, Tigers over the Astros 7-2, and the Diamondbacks in extras over the Guardians 3-2. Of the games in action right now, Marlins lead the Cardinals 3-0 in the top of the fifth. Nats lead the Mets 4-1 in the top of the fifth as well. Sox and Braves tied 0-0 at the end of the third. Yankees up 1-0 on the Rays. Athletics and Twins tied 0-0, and the Rangers lead the Royals. In the Little League World Series, it was Aruba over Japan 3-0 earlier today. Connecticut over Nevada 7-3, and South Dakota currently leads South Carolina 1-0 right now. The Colorado Avalanche have signed forward Victor Olofsson to a one-year, $1.575 million deal, and two-time major champion and current world number 3 Coco Gauff has fired her coach Matthew Daly just days before the start of the U.S. Open. I'm Declan Kruger. This has been Sports 1440 Update.
In Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Test drive the ultimate evolution in luxury. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 2.99%. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton.
Great vehicles, better service. The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
For all things golf carts, it's the Golf Cart people. Their certified techs provide expert service from maintenance to custom upgrades. Customers can explore the sales floor for new and used club car, Yamaha, and E-Z-Go models.